I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lobito! You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend Mr. BDA, and alongside with me as always my co-host, the one, the only King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Now listen guys, thank you for joining us. Got a lot to talk about, but before we do that, you know the drill. Let's get the business out of the way. We want to continue the gravy train rolling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, that's the most important thing. Don't forget, you can also keep the gravy train rolling by giving us new equipment via donations, contributions. These small contributions, they don't gotta be $15, $5, $1, whatever you can give, it always helps. But the most important thing is the likes and subscribes. That being said, if you want to donate, you can always do so via the super chat feature during the stream. It's the easiest thing. You can also go to our Patreon page or our PayPal page. All right. That being said, guys, thank you for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Saint Brit, CR3 exclamation point, Buck, Dead Game Boxing, Mojav, T-Love, Daniel Bob. Sounds like a biblical name. Box 88, and many more people to come, I am sure. Guys, thank you for joining us. I was doing a little bit of editing because I want to do the small film analysis again with everybody involved. And I was watching that, and I'm reading the news, hearing other podcasts, boxing podcasts. All of a sudden, I hear, whoops, they're talking about Wilder wants to enact his rematch clause. Apparently, he's pretty adamant about it. So I said, hey, why not jump on board? The people are still hyped up about Saturday's fight. Tyson Fury beating Deontay Wilder by stoppage in the 7th round. Some controversy, apparently, for certain people, certain Wilder fans, I believe. So I said, yeah, you know what? Let's get a little stream going, see what happens. We're going to be opening up the phone lines in a couple of, maybe a half an hour or something. So if you want to call in, you can certainly do so. But first, we also want to get thoughts of, I see Recognize in the Discord. Recognize, what's up?
Did you just call me an escort?
No, I see we got Recognize on the Discord. But, didn't you used to be an escort?
Well, I may have had a business in it, but I actually didn't do it myself.
All right. But yeah, listen, we didn't get to hear your thoughts too much, did we? You were a little bit. You sounded like you were a bit tired on Saturday.
Oh, I was tired, man. I was, because we were just like yelling and by the time I talk to you guys, I may have been losing my voice. But hey, guys, look out for X. He just dropped a video. Apparently, he has some 100% X has some information that we need to know about. So maybe you might want to check that out.
Oh, okay. So 100% X. Perhaps the biggest Deontay Wilder fan out there, right? I mean, I don't know if there's a bigger Deontay
I don't
Wilder
think there's
fan.
any bigger fan than him right now. He may be a little crazy, but you know, I even give the crazy people the benefit of the doubt that they might know something that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it, but you know, give him a shot.
Yeah, no, I don't know if there's a bigger one. If there's a bigger one, I want to find him and put him in a laboratory and analyze his brain, see what's going on in there, you know, tinker with it a little bit. But listen, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Mojav says, how disrespectful to Tyson. Didn't even congratulate the guy, nothing. Wilder needs a psychiatrist or something. He literally is on another planet. CR3 says, Wilder will never be the same again after this. His aura is gone. It's going to be a long journey to get that back. Saint Britt says, Wilder said it in an interview today. Bayer says, Mikey versus Vargas this weekend. Yeah, I want to talk about it too, but I think maybe in another episode because people are still all pumped up about last Saturday's fight. Shout out to Virtuoso who's in the chat room as well. T-Love says, like I said, no excuses. Fight like a champion. You know I'm a Wilder fan. Buckley says, Wilder was pacing back and forth the entire time before the fight. That definitely weakened his legs a lot more than his 45-pound costume. Yeah, apparently he's saying that, 100% X is in the chat room. He says, I'm back and still black. All right, well, listen.
Why would we expect that to change?
Yeah, but listen, on Saturday, I think certain people were still a little bit shocked at what happened, but now we are finally starting to see a couple of the excuses. Now, before we do that, Bucho, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the fight because on the day of the fight or after the fight, you were a little bit, your voice was gone a little bit. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, where do I start? I'm not an expert in boxing. You know this, Mr. BDA.
Oh, I know it.
The stoppage was likely because I just didn't make this up, and neither did Mark or Stu. We watched that 12th round, and we saw Wilder getting hurt, right? And then on top of that, the most obvious, that this is what all of us have been seeing from Wilder for years now, getting outboxed every fucking time. Right?
Well, it's the language you don't.
Wilder only has to be perfect for 2 seconds. Wilder only has to be perfect for 2 seconds. What kind of stupid ass fucking plan is that?
And that was literally the plan.
Never did Wilder learn anything throughout his fucking career. Nothing. Never improved on anything. And all of a sudden, Fury changed his trainer. And they're all laughing about it, and this is a sign that Fury's on. Like he knows he needs to change something. The bad move. This is what great fighters do. They change, they innovate, they improve. They're not afraid of improving. Wilder never improved because he's average. Not only boxing wise, but mentally speaking, he's an average person boxer. Sure, he has power, but that's why he was getting all these knockouts from these bums. Now, you're going to call me a hater, but it's the truth, and it's something that you never wanted to see. And now that's why you're shocked. I'm not shocked. I was never shocked. I predicted this. Did you guys
That's
were
the
in
thing,
denial?
though. That's the thing, because I asked you throughout the week, and I mentioned this on Saturdays on the post-fight show. I said, I tried getting you to break a little bit to see how confident you were in the pick by asking you if you had any doubts, and you were saying, I don't have any doubts. And in fact, you told me that this sort of reminded you a little bit of that feeling that you had when you said that somebody was getting knocked out in the Pacquiao Marquez 4 fight, the fourth fight. Yeah. So what happened? How was it? Just the 12th round that told you, yeah, this is the way the rematch is going to go down?
Yeah, and I've seen in other fights when Wilder was backing up, he just his defense is all gone. Right? Well, he doesn't even have a defense, but it's just not completely gone, and he extends his arms, he closes his eyes, he eats all the feints. And people saying, Fury can't hurt him. Like, they were insulting me. They were like, not insulting me, but, they were like really criticizing me. Like, how can you think Fury can hurt Wilder? Like, he's 250 something. And if he sits on his punches, trust me, he can hurt Deontay Wilder.
And you know what's funny? All this talk about, if I'm sorry to bring him up, but I love Gonzalo. Okay, I love Gonzalo. I think he knows boxing. He's very educated when it comes to boxing. I truly believe that.
Uh-oh.
But
I'm right here,
my
baby.
friend, you, my friend, are wrong. Hey, what's up, Gonzalo? You was wrong. You can sit on your punches and hit your guy and not stick around long enough. The saying, not stick around long enough to get caught by Wilder. It's all about positioning with Wilder since he has none, right? That's all it is. Don't stand in front of him. Don't give him no free shots. You can stick him hard. You can punch him fast and stick him hard at the same time, and you're going to beat him. And that's exactly what I saw. What I saw was a guy who said, look, I'm faster than you. I'm a better boxer than you. I'm going to put something on those punches. And what happened when he started putting something on those punches? Now, I think it also helped to be over 270 pounds, okay? And it was lean muscles. It was a lean 270 where he's got mobility, movement, right? So it was a combination of that. Every time he hit him, he broke him up. He was breaking him up, okay? He was the harder puncher. Shouldn't be surprised to people. No, the guy outweighs him by 40 pounds. Okay? Just stick something into that punch. Do it with meaning. Don't play no games with this guy. Show him he's not on your level. Okay? Give him a dirty look every time you hit him. Mind games play into it. Yes, it does. I'm not going to stop until I fucking kill you. Okay? I'm not stopping. I'm going to kill you today. Okay? That starts playing in a man's mind. Okay? He ain't gonna stop. Now, yeah. Wilder was outgunned in that fight. It's not anything else to it. He's fought mediocre competition throughout the years. Okay? He fought setup fights, meaning guys they knew he could beat, guys that would just stand in front of him and with their hands down and he can let off. Okay? But that's all he has. It's that sneaky off-guard punch. I hit you with something you don't see coming. Fury saw those punches coming.
Yeah.
He knew that. He already showed signs that he can hurt Wilder in the first fight. All right? That means he can put something on it, and he doesn't have to worry about, quote-unquote, staying around long enough. No, it's when he doesn't move his feet and stands in front of Wilder is when it became an issue. And,
all right.
That's what I saw.
Now, Gonzalo, you got anything to say about that? A little bit of a retort before we get back to Bucho?
No, well, we all saw what happened. It was definitely the right game plan. 273 worked for Fury, and can't feel that, this guy can beat him on the third fight. It'd most likely be the nail in the coffin for Wilder. Mm-hmm. But if he wants to do it and exact this rematch, it'd probably be like a cash out. And, this would be kind of like, he'd be exposed, similar to maybe like Jeff Lacy, one of the biggest hype jobs of his era. This would be Wilder. No, but recognize no credit to his points of view. He's absolutely right. He played out the way he said it was, and great points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I didn't predict a knockout, though. I have to be clear. I did not predict a knockout. What I predicted was more likely he would just outbox him. He would, he would do better things throughout the fight because he's already seen him. But I always knew that if he sat on his punch, he's not gonna have to worry about incoming. You don't have to worry about that's such it's such a way not to teach a fighter, to teach a fighter like Fury to deal with a guy like Wilder. No, you hit him with hard shots because, just look at his footwork. That's the guy you definitely hit with
amateur. It's amateur level, man.
That's the guy you definitely stick him with some hard punches and watch him fold. He was backing up with his head up in the air.
You mentioned how, Wilder, when you don't see that right hand, obviously you're in trouble. But let me tell you who didn't see the right hand from Wilder. Duhaupas, actually, he wasn't even knocked out, right? But they stopped the fight. Molina, Szpilka, he was outboxing Wilder, lunged in. Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington, who was also outboxing Wilder. Bermane Stiverne, when he came in all super fat. 50-year-old Luis Ortiz. I mean, so these were the guys who were getting knocked out. I wasn't impressed. None of us were impressed.
No.
But no, we were haters. We were haters. So you kept living in your fucking with the lies, the excuses. You were in denial.
I want to say something about that. First of all, Precise, I saw over his channel Fight Film. He did 3 videos in a row this week, so that means hopefully he's back. And Precise, if you're listening, you need to come back into the fold, man, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to ask you more questions about this when you pick your brain about this. So come back to the fold, or even if you don't want to talk boxing, come over back to Second Renaissance, the non-boxing channel, where we're doing that every week. So come on down. We would really like to hear from you. Also about that, about the all the shit that these Wilder fans were talking, because we're going to get to that later on. And Sean Newton's made a, I know there's a lot of people in the chat room that don't like Sean Newton. They think he talks too much about the LDBC, but he made a great point in, I believe, his last video or before last, where he said, "Listen, guys, you can continue watching boxing from a racial perspective, and this is what's going to keep happening to you because you're not thinking with your brain." You're not thinking at all, you're following your heart. Oh, this guy looks like me, so I'm going to root for him. Yeah, baby, black power. And then what happens? You end up you're getting your heart broken. So some people, I think there's going to be a crossroads for some people. They're going to double down, or they're going to change their ways and maybe start looking at boxing a different way. And that would probably mean that they would enjoy boxing more because they're actually going to start focusing on the sport and not so much on the outside of the ring shenanigans. Now, Bucho, I want to ask you a question. So you picked Fury, but still like everybody else, those first 2 rounds, especially in the first 2 rounds, Wilder was when Fury wasn't pressing as much and he was still the filling out rounds, he got caught with a couple of right hands. Were you on the edge of your seat at that point, or?
Yeah, a bit. Wilder
come on,
punch,
just a bit. Don't bullshit me, man.
After the first one, I wasn't concerned. He wasn't gonna hurt Fury. And by the way, did you notice how Wilder just mentally broke down when he saw Fury just come forward? Like when he realized, you know what, Fury is actually keeping his word. He's actually here to knock me out, right? Because a lot of people before the fight were saying, Fury is talking just a big game that he's gonna go for the knockout. He's gonna prance around and dance around, but that didn't happen. And that's when Wilder broke down, man.
Yeah, I think so, man. And
why were his eyes all that wide open like that?
Yeah. That's what it's
he was scared.
Tyson stinks. Tyson stinks all over again, man.
Who had said that before the fight? Somebody said that. Somebody referenced Tyson Spinks, and I forget.
Who anyway. when you look at it now, right, as the fight was going on, and I'm guessing like people just saw the obvious. When Wilder was coming in, he looked nervous. He looked really nervous when he took off that garb that he had on. You started to look at his face and all that. You started to see a guy who has some concerns, as if in like, this is going to be. Look, I truly believe this, and I don't care what people think. Boxing is a rigged game, at the very least. It's a rigged game. He looked like he was getting the message. You're going to have to earn this today because this dude is coming to fuck you up. So figure it out, big boy. You have to figure it out today, And when the bell rang and he started seeing how hard he was getting punched by a 270-pound man, I think everything was confirmed to him. All his fears. He tried because, he has warrior instinct in him. Like, there's no doubt. I truly believe he's a warrior in his heart. But he was concerned. There was some concern there that this dude is coming here to whip my ass. Can I handle that? The question is, can I do this against this caliber of a fighter that already basically took my best shot, got back up, and was hurting me? And Bucho and I and a lot of people were saying this, mainly on this channel. When Fury got back up and he fought with a sense of urgency, he was actually whipping Wilder. He was actually whipping him.
It's interesting because one of the things that I was always mentioning was the feints, that you needed to put Wilder in that position where he backs up straight up, where he leans back, I should say. Ortiz couldn't catch him. Fury couldn't catch him in the first fight because he was boxing from the outside. This time, however, it just completely fell apart for Wilder. What I always expected was going to happen finally happened, but I didn't expect it to happen this easily or in this fight with the way it happened. I mean, it was just, he was leaning back and he was getting caught with right hands, overhand right hands. And did you see how Fury, every time he landed overhand right flush, boom, he would twist Wilder's body downward. I mean, that's 270 pounds now. Okay, yeah, Wilder didn't go down on one shot all the time, but that's because Fury at this point, he's more of a thudding guy. You know, he's never going to be that whippersnapper like Deontay Wilder. That being said, it did cost him, and Wilder just completely got, drained from his energy. Now, Butcher, I want to ask you, you were okay. So what happened at the bar? Because you said people were picking fights. I mean, was that because you were getting up and screaming? You said every time Fury
I did get up and scream.
Okay,
but
you do that all the time in the same place.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
What wasn't that bad? The screaming or the
situation? I saw a lot of angry people after, just screaming outside. They were drunk probably, because they really thought Wilder was gonna win, you know. But listen, it's boxing.
Well, listen,
because they really didn't expect that. I mean, if Fury would have won a decision, maybe they wouldn't have gone crazy. But the fact that he got destroyed, that's what hurt their. That's why they got so.
You know the website FanDuel, right?
FanDuel?
Yeah.
Duel.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I was just following it, right? And maybe thinking about doing a bet as the fight goes. You know, you can make bets as the fights go along.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, going into the fight, ring entrance, Wilder was a minus 110 favorite. By the second round, the end of the second round, he was a plus 750 underdog.
Okay.
What does that tell you? They knew the fight was over.
During the fight. Yeah, okay. You said during the fight.
They knew that fight was over. It was. Yeah.
Now, I want to bring something up.
The fights were wide open. Like, I think we all knew that, right?
Well, you know,
no, I was watching Ness from the Boxing Voice. He was doing a live stream, and he was watching, obviously, the fight live, and you could hear in the background people still believing that no, he can still land that right hand. Like, they still believed in the right hand. Like, at any moment,
there was nothing on that right hand. Even I, who was on the edge of my seat for the first 2-3 rounds. By the fourth or fifth, I said, "This guy's. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna." I was still nervous a little bit, but I knew, like, nah, it's not gonna. That he had nothing left on right hand. Now, some people say, look, I've seen Deontay Wilder punch going backwards when he's on the mitts. First of all, his balance is all wrong. He's still leaning back when he does it. So, like, he's half in, half out. That shit's not going to work. Second of all, it's one thing to hit the mitts and do it properly. It's another one when you're doing it with world-class professional fighters. So when people say, well, Wilder needs to change trainers, he needs to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Change trainers. Get somebody that's actually going to try to teach him something new. But don't expect him to end up looking, because Fury had always been a much better fighter, a more diverse, versatile fighter. Wilder has never shown us anything differently. He hasn't.
Yeah.
And they bragged about it. Sorry, quickly. Yeah. And they bragged about it. Like, he didn't have to improve on anything. He just needed 2 seconds.
Exactly, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I heard, and I've been knowing this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard something about that. Wilder doesn't like to run. Okay, he would look completely, physically, depleted by the third round. Had to do with Fury's game plan of pressing forward, but he doesn't run.
Yeah.
And thinking about the mitts, okay, like, I remember when Librado Andrade was on the show, that you can't miss the mitts. You know, when you have a live fighter, it's different. And one thing he doesn't have, and I don't understand why, and he probably should change trainers, he don't have a jab. For a power puncher that has heavy hands, how come he doesn't have a jab? Because that's where he failed. If he didn't have a jab, he would kind of keep Fury honest, but he couldn't do that.
When he jabs off the tippy toe.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And he jabs
off the tippy toe. It's like, what are you doing, bro? You gotta come in. It's kind of like glide your feet, boom, and then get it back in position. To start letting off the overhand right. You know.
Look, with the type of power he has, the adjustments are there, because we know guys are always watching his right hand, so he could actually feint and make them watch for the right hand and come up with other stuff and start confusing them and then throw the right hand. But it's maybe this loss is gonna wake him up. But now, as far as this immediate rubber match thing, we're gonna get to that. But also, I wanted to talk about something because again, I'm not into the whole making fun of the LDBC thing, but I've been listening to a couple of their streams for the first time in ever, actually, because I never really paid attention to them. But I decided, you know what, this time I gotta see who changes their mind. Which one of these YouTube streamers actually starts saying, you know what, maybe there's something to learn about this. And one thing I realized was that a lot of the commenters on their videos, as well as those LDBC guys who stream, is that a lot of them are doubling down on their narrative. A lot of them are coming
stupidity. Yeah,
a lot of them are. But hold on.
I saw a message.
Let me just say something.
A
lot of them are actually again finding the excuses. They're saying Tyson Fury was too heavy. No, Kenny Bayless didn't warn him about the rabbit punches, even though again he didn't warn Deontay Wilder either about them, and he did take a point off of Fury and on Wilder. But also they're saying, why are you making fun of Wilder for one loss? What does that mean? He only lost to a top 3 heavyweight. What's the shame in that? Well, allow me to point to you.
Now you want to bring stuff up like that. But
that's what I want to get at. That's what I wanted to get at. Because
was excellent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on, shit. That's what I wanted to get at here, because I got this from one of those LDBC places after AJ got caught against what's his name. By the way, hit the like and subscribe, guys. After AJ lost to Ruiz, how do I fucking hold on a second? Give me 2 seconds here. yeah, because I got the hold on. Okay, I got the comments here on the page. So here's the comments from the LDBC people after AJ lost to Ruiz. It finally caught up to him. AJ's been hurt in his last several fights. So sort of the same thing we said about Wilder. He's been hurt. His technique is shit, but they didn't want to accept it. Joshua is the biggest hype job in boxing, period. That's what they said about Joshua. But the people that are giving them shit back, they're not allowed to say it. And look at these people say, I told everybody AJ was taking Ruiz lightly. Canelo can fight. Okay. The only 2 people who have a chance to beat Wilder is Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. And Wilder signed up to get both of them out of the way. Well, he couldn't get Fury out of the way this time. AJ is a quitter, and AJ protectors should be ashamed. This is why the Fowler fight never got going. AJ is the Frank Bruno 2.0. Those little laugh signs. This is Fadden's video, by the way, so he's the one also giving him shit. I was wondering, does the UK still run boxing? What, no Sweet Caroline? So you can see they're AJ.
They don't even realize they set up their own. They set themselves up to get smacked in the face.
That's how stupid they are.
That's how stupid
they were being braggadocious because Ruiz had it and Wilder, so they had all the titles. But now they went across the other side of the pond. Now all the guys from the
all the belts belong to the UK, right? And it's like, look, man, it's kind of dumb. Look, this is the way I see it. Right, this is the typical victimhood mentality. They will cry as they strike you. While they're striking you, they will be crying injustice while they're fucking hitting you with an axe behind your head. Okay, and this is what happens when you let people get away with saying the most stupidest things and not holding them responsible for their stupid behavior and their stupid comments. Mm-hmm. Okay, look, I always said Wilder was trash. In terms of skills-wise, he's not a good fighter. He don't have skills. Okay, he has good punching power, and it's just one, and it's basically a sneak attack. It's catching you off guard when you're not realizing. It's part of the game too, right? But he doesn't set it up in a boxing, in a traditional boxing manner. He just does it. He wings it, and he catches you with that long overhand right. And usually guys don't beat the count. He wasn't like fucking chin checking everybody and knocking them out cold. They just weren't beating the count, okay? And he did this against very low par competition. Okay, most of these guys were very low. And then the way they went out of their way, right, to like for us not to see the video of him getting knocked down by a journeyman who had a lot of losses and a lot of knockouts going into that fight, right? A guy who been knocked out already. Drop Wilder. Like, why are you going through all this? Why? But it's just a boxing fight. That's all it is. Okay, it's to deceive the public. Like, no, this guy is really, really good. He's almost unstoppable. And when he's not. Okay, so now that the fight is over, now that I realized that Fury came to not play with him, we saw how easy Wilder was not on his level. Okay, the only thing you give Wilder credit for is, taking the ass whipping for like 6.5 rounds. That's all you can give him credit for.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Was that Pucho?
He didn't do jack shit. At least AJ dropped Ruiz, right? And
that's right.
He kind of make a little comeback after the knockdowns. He kind of like was jabbing a little bit, moving.
And Ruiz and Fury are the same kind of fighter in a lot of different ways, but one is like fucking 6'9", and the other one is barely 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So,
but Wilder didn't do jack shit against Fury. It was almost embarrassing. I mean, this is the champion supposedly, right? This is supposed to be the hardest hitter of all time, according to some people. He is supposed to have an amazing chin.
I thought he outboxed him.
Not really.
For 19 rounds. In every 19 rounds that they fought, I thought he outboxed Wilder.
And I kept saying that those times that Fury went down, the 2 times he went down, it was Fury's fault. Clowning around, dipping low. This time he didn't do those things, obviously.
And I'm not knocking Wilder fans like, guys like Dead Game, who are like honest people, right? At least they're like, okay, look, he thought he was going to win. But he told you.
Yeah.
Dead Game told you, look, he's concerned about this fight because of Tyson Fury. You understand what I'm saying? But,
yeah, listen, it was Wilder winning by knockout. It was a possibility. I never denied. I mean, obviously, it was a big possibility. Not a big possibility because I didn't. But it was a possibility. But what I disagreed with a lot of these people is when they started saying Wilder's going to knock him out. There is no way that Wilder can get hurt by Philo-pisted Fury. That's when I started to go like, okay, guys, did you really analyze the first fight?
Yeah, did you really pay attention to it?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing.
That's when I started being. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, just real. No, go ahead.
It's just I just didn't like when these Wilder fans just didn't give any chance to Tyson Fury. Like there was no chance. Oh, this time he's gonna knock him out. There's nothing Fury can do. Fury can't hurt Wilder.
Well, that's the thing. People.
He only needs 2 seconds. He only needs 2 seconds. No, he doesn't. We just saw the first fight. He had 2 knockdowns and he got back up. Where's that? Were those the 2 perfect seconds you were looking for?
Like John Fury said, if he was such a big basher, then why didn't he finish his son in the 12th round?
Exactly.
Why did his son get back up and start beating him up?
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Hopefully,
everything was there. It's not a prediction, man, because the proof was fucking right there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is hopefully all these people that these LDBC fans who didn't really know much about boxing, hopefully now you can start watching boxing for the boxing and not for the outside of the ring antics. And hopefully now you realize that one punch is a bad strategy. I mean, you can get away with it with guys like Brazil and 46-year-old Ortiz who are not going to be moving, but you need to find. And by the way, listen, Anthony Joshua fans are very annoying because they're doing the same thing that the Wilder fans did after Ruiz beat Joshua. I mean, that's why I'm saying don't get involved in the outside of the ring antics. Don't talk shit too much for a guy you're never gonna meet and who's never gonna do anything for you other than provide you entertainment. But don't forget, you're paying too. When we bought the pay-per-view, you're giving money to both guys. The guy that you're rooting against, Tyson Fury, and the guy you're rooting for, Deontay Wilder. So again, keep it, stop making this personal. Also, the other thing is this, and I've said this before, this heavyweight division, it's entertaining, but everybody has weaknesses. Tyson Fury, okay, he showed you what he can do against Wilder, but if he comes in at 270 pounds against other guys, it might hurt him. That extra weight might hurt him. Let's not get it twisted, guys. He's not the biggest puncher in boxing, Tyson Fury. Also, Anthony Joshua, for example, better technique. He's got a little bit of everything. Good boxing skills, good power, but he's got shit stamina, and now we don't know if his chin is dented or not. Deontay Wilder.
Right. And the guy that has it all, that has that whole total combination, is an untrustworthy character as well. I'm talking about Tyson Fury. This is what makes it, look, this is what I think makes the heavyweight division sort of exciting. When Tyson Fury at the very top is the most exciting thing about the heavyweight division. Because
absolutely,
here's a guy who has a big personality, right? Second, he's unpredictable. When Tyson Fury fights like the way he did Saturday night, he beats every heavyweight right now, including Usyk. I like Usyk. I think I think he dismantled a guy like Usyk.
I was
Okay.
thinking the same thing too. Recognized actually,
Yeah.
like last
Well,
night.
I think
my-
Usyk could
Hold on,
do well,
guys. Sorry to interrupt. I think we got somebody on the StreamYard. I think it's somebody that doesn't like us, but guy on the StreamYard, PH Boxing Fan, please mute your mic because I can hear you I can hear us actually on the background. So please mute your speakers. Because see, I can hear you now. I can hear the feedback.
I can hear us actually on the
PH Boxing Fan, can you hear me?
Your speakers.
I apologize.
Yeah, please mute your speak. All right. You're on the air StreamYard. Or you want to give us your thoughts about this fight? All right, he chose.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure. I was very interested on Tyson Fury
Okay.
because of how he knocked Wilder out.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because if you notice, guys, Tyson Fury does not have technique in the left hook. Like, he slaps it around rather than actually landing on through the knuckles. But when you're 273 pounds, it starts to sting. He has the same technique as Paulie Malignaggi, if you notice. But the size advantage was so big that the punches actually hit harder than they should be. If I explain it, just through arm weight, he doesn't punch hard. But since Tyson Fury is loading up all his body weight through Wilder, it's gonna sting so much. Now, I'm gonna explain who has the best technique in heavyweight boxing. I think that's AJ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'm a big AJ fan actually. I think he beats Tyson Fury regardless of what you guys say. I think his technique and inside fighting is way too good.
I don't give a shit.
All right,
yeah, you can disagree. Yeah, you can disagree.
Well, recognize. What did you say?
No, I've always given AJ props, and I think he does give Tyson Fury a good fight. I think that's another 50-50 fight for different reasons. The better overall boxer, Tyson Fury, in terms of like knowing how to do more stuff. The better conditioned athlete who has boxing skills, AJ. That should make. He's not going to beat up AJ the way, especially from the beginning to the end, like he did with Wilder, because there's going to be technique, there's going to be form. So while AJ's going to have something to say to that, right? Not only that, he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, if I have to say something, I think that AJ's chin has been exposed just by the style that he was fighting against Ruiz. And if you think about the earshot that Ruiz landed on AJ, think about the earshot that Tyson Fury landed on Wilder. Now that's 270 pounds, similar to Ruiz. But with the leverage that he gets, if he lands on AJ similarly, think about what happened in that first fight with Ruiz. I think that Tyson Fury is to be favored in that fight because they're both not big punchers, and Ruiz and Tyson Fury about the same. But look at the monster that Tyson Fury is.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay. So what I like also about Tyson Fury is I understand how he is favored. He has a mean streak. Like, one fight he can be Floyd Mayweather, and the other he can be Antonio Margarito at the same time.
That's
and
right.
then that's how scary Tyson Fury is.
Absolutely, man.
I think the fight is gonna be similar to Miguel Cotto versus Antonio Margarito. You see the size difference between AJ and Fury. I think AJ will be Miguel Cotto, but this time he'll eke out Fury in a majority decision.
Whoa, all right. Well, there you have it, man. Thank you for your prediction and thank you for your call. We're going to have to move on because we got other people waiting and we don't want to, we want to try to get this along quickly, but thank you, PH Boxing Fan. Are you from the Philippines, by the way? Just so I can get a better... Yeah, okay. All right, perfect, man. Listen, thank you for your call. Really appreciate your point of view and call back again next episode, all right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, take it easy, man. All right, we got another call here real quick. We got Dave on the line. Dave, are you there? Dave. Davey. No?
Damn it.
Dave.
All right.
Are you there?
Jimmy's in here.
Hold on. Dave, hold on. Dave, are you there? Okay, I thought I heard hi. I think it was one of you motherfuckers. All right, we got Jimmy on the line. Jimmy, are you there?
Yo,
On the Discord. Man? Hey, how you doing, man? All right, listen, your volume. Hold on, let me boost it up here. Talk, please.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Perfect. All right. What's up, man?
All right. Oh, nothing, man. Fucking, hey, tell me when he fucking dropped his ass in the third round, you weren't like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
He might actually be a fourth round stoppage. I'll tell you what, right? I'm telling you, I knew. I just had a gut feeling he was going to fucking put it on.
But you hesitated so long. I was like, okay, he's going to go for Fury by decision or maybe Wilder by knockout. And all of a sudden you go like, all right, Fury, third round knockout. I'm like, what? No, fourth round knockout. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, what it was, dude, I started seeing, I binge watched all the fucking, the talking. I started trying to find all the interviews I could have just to see how serious he was. I'll tell you, man, just looking at his eyes, I gain a lot from people's eyes, dude. You know what I mean? I've always, and I'm telling him, like, this dude looks serious. He's like, because then I looked at his record, I went back and I'm like, okay, he got like 21 knockouts in 30 fights. So he clearly can hit. Then I watch his style from other fights, and I think what happened, he purposely wanted to outbox Klitschko. Like, he outboxed him. He knew that wasn't the right style, and then I saw an interview that said that. So I saw his progression, what he was doing, and he went in against the Wilder in the first fight. He realized after the fact, he said that wasn't the right thing to do, because I realized too late in the fight when he was weaker that he could really fucking rock Wilder. So when he said that his fucking thing was to put on weight, when I saw all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rock with this crazy gypsy motherfucker. I think he's going to put it on him. So when he dropped him in, what was that, the third he put him down?
Yeah, it was in the third. Yeah, it was in the third. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. And that's where he popped his fucking eardrum. He was never the same after that. Because that happened to Mickey. Mickey fucking popped his eardrum. And against the second Torgotti fight, it was hell for him.
Well, Jimmy
cranked it out till the end.
Jimmy, let's get to that, because you were one of the guys. I don't know. You got the inside scoop on a lot of things. The PBC, Wilder's out. They wanted him to be their cash cow. Errol Spence was in the crowd. He was looking like a fat Frankenstein monster in there. I think he's gained a lot of weight right now. I don't think he's working out, as they tell us. So who knows what's going to happen with him? You got the Charlos, you got Tank Davis. I mean, can any of these guys get the PBC out of the financial hole they appear to be in?
Dude, that was a big, listen, they never thought that was going to happen. They just, I don't know. Because I can't see them even making a fight until they made Joshua. Listen, the big money fight still would have been, that's out of the window now. Now the big money fight's Tyson and fucking Joshua. Hands down. Because listen, that wasn't just a fucking win. That was a beating. He put a fucking beating on that dude. And of course, they were trying to say, laying on him. He did everything. I said, listen, he's going to feint. And then he's going to come in, I don't know, go back and listen. I said he's going to come in real quick behind the left. Because you know why? Listen, if you go back and watch Wilder, he bends at the hip backwards. Because he's been so tall, he's been able to get away with it. Bends backwards, which is like a cardinal rule you don't do in boxing, right? You don't ever bend backwards. You bend at the hip and you sauce side to side. And so I said, if he can get that fucking left and use it almost as a pole, just get it out there and then just real quick come behind with the right hand. And that's what he did. I'm like, motherfucker. He went, pop, and he came in right behind it. And Wilder turning like he always does, and it caught him right in the ear, ruptured his eardrum. And you can see him look at Wilder's face. I said right there, I screamed, I'm like, he's going to put him away next round. Because I knew his eardrum was done. Because you could tell he was walking. Yeah.
Didn't you feel like every punch he hit him with, he was breaking Wilder? He was just breaking. Yes, he looked like he was getting exhausted with every hit.
Well, what it is, right? When you rupture an eardrum, dude, it's like you're drunk. Like you can't walk. You have a really kind of hard time. And then on top of that, listen, Andre Ward, I hated him as a fighter, his style, a lot of the other shit he pulled. But I don't mind him as an announcer because he does make some fucking real good points.
From the beginning.
He said his legs, and he said from the beginning too, and he said his legs. Listen, when you have that wide stance, that's great for fucking landing bombs, but it's terrible for your balance. You got to be able to there's the few guys who can hit hard and not do that, like Pacquiao could hit hard on the bounce. He bounces on his calves and just land and whack you on the bounce, which is almost impossible to defend against. But so Tyson just did what he did, and then remember I said he's got to lean on him? Every chance he had, he's got to lean on him. And I'll tell you, 275 pounds, and he's so leggy too. All his weight is up fucking high. Because you see that picture of him over fucking Wilder, how long his legs were? So that's like 200 fucking pounds on your back. And so, yeah, no, he did everything right. He fainted him. And if you watched, I said, Wilder, you'll be able to tell if he's nervous if he starts reacting to every feint. And he did. He kept putting his flinching. And like someone like Wilder, I mean, listen, fucking Gypsy, that kid's a boxer. He's been fighting his whole life. He understands time and feints, and you could see him. And you could see him like writhing with the shoulders, and he would feint him again, and he was just trying to get him into the right position. And when he knew he had the right distance, he kept doing it. The jab, following it with the right, because he's not going to see the right coming. And yeah, no, I thought he fucking was a masterful fight, masterful. He fucking did exactly what he said he was going to do. I really did think he was going to put him away in the fourth. I got to give Wilder credit, dude. I got to really do, because I didn't think he'd take a beating like that. Because once his equilibrium was gone, every shot you fucking look at. Because I asked Mickey, that's how I know. Because I asked him, like, dude, what's the difference? He's like, dude, every shot's like so fucked up. You don't see it coming sometimes, and and it just, when he explained what it was like, I was like, ugh.
Hey, guys, I want to keep hearing from you because I got a couple of questions to ask you too in terms of this potential rubber match and all that. But let me just because we're getting flooded with calls here, so let me just get through some of these calls here.
Going, okay, brother, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So we got somebody on the StreamYard, guys on the phone line. Also, stay there. I see you. I'm going to get to you. DTSE, you're on the StreamYard line. DTSE.
All right. This call is a public acknowledgement because I have to be a man of my words. Because I had said to Stu prior to the fight on the show that if Tyson Fury knocks out Deontay Wilder, I owe him a public apology. And I don't know if he's here, but I'm here to tell you I'm sorry. You were right, and I was wrong. So I'm here to admit that because I was very, very adamant, in this conversation. I was coming to this chat all the time and, saying with all my belief, Wilder's going to knock him out. Wilder's gonna knock him out, and I'm just acknowledging that I was wrong, and I just want to say also I didn't realize how many fans of Tyson Fury there are here in America, especially in New York, because while I watched the fight, I was very drunk, so
I don't think there's
people. I'm going to around people in the bar. Wilder's gonna beat him. Wilder's gonna beat him. And everyone looked at me like, yeah, okay, whatever. But the atmosphere in the bar that I was in here in New York when Tyson Fury knocked him out, the place was going crazy. Like I was shocked, and it was so weird. Just I was standing there, the only person was dumbfounded.
Is anybody having a hard time hearing?
Jumping up and down.
All right, hold on. Call it. Hold on, guys. You're having a hard time hearing him. You're saying,
Whoa.
Guys on the Discord.
Right, hang up.
Why? What's going on?
We can't hear the guy.
You can't hear him. What?
No, it's all broken.
It's like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Okay,
it was breaking up and then.
Okay, I heard him perfectly. I don't know what's going on, but okay. Listen, guys. He said that he wants to apologize to Stu because he picked the fight wrong. But he also says that there was interesting at the bar he went to. There was a lot of Tyson Fury fans, and he was surprised. This is Dave, by the way. I think he's from Long Island or New York, and he said Wilder by 7th round stoppage. So he got the round right, but not the actual fighter.
Strong Island.
Strong Island. There you go. All right, Dave. Thank you for calling in, man. We got to move on, and very gracious. But you know what? If I were you, I wouldn't have apologized. I would have told Stu, go fuck yourself. That's what I would have said. But anyway, listen.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Different strokes for different folks. All right, Dave.
Go to confession next time.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you for calling in, man. All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick.
Have you heard from... Oh, no, I was going to say, did you hear from that Mr. BDA guy, Mr. LSD? Did he call yet?
Hello, this is Vince. He hasn't called.
Yeah.
No. But I think he's there.
Is he?
585.
585. Okay, let's go to 585 real quick. 585, you're on the air. 585.
My buddy.
How you doing, Mr. BDA? This is Vince.
Wow, your voice really changed.
Where are you?
48 hours of crime will do that.
Hey, Vinny, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Vinny, don't question our intelligence.
Why you? It sounds like you're speaking in a out of space or something.
Now wait a minute, guys. Come on, let's hear what Vince has to say. All right, Vinny, go ahead. You're on. Say what you want to say, man.
Yes, guys. What I witnessed on Saturday, it's truly not a good day. It's a sad day for the American boxing public. I felt like something was wrong with Mr. Wilder, and it was really sad to see. I'm kind of disappointed. I definitely want to see a third rematch. I mean, a rematch, because I believe Wilder will take care of business this time.
Yeah, he'll take care of business.
All right, he'll take care of business, and you
give up.
Okay.
And speaking of taking care of business, didn't I tell you to get your wallet ready, my buddy?
Oh.
No, listen, I can understand because Wilder showed you so many things to go off of.
No, all I want you to do is donate. I just want you to. I just want you to donate to the BDA.
All right, Vinny, you gotta.
I told you to get your. I said, listen, get your wallet ready. I have a feeling you're going to be paying up a whole lot this year, including this fight.
All right, let Vinny answer because we got a lot of calls here, people waiting. Go ahead, Vinny. Go ahead.
Yes, for Mr. VDA. Mr. Recognize, we didn't actually bet on this one, but actually Mr. Fury got one thing right, which was he said he's rooting for Teofimo Lopez to conquer your guys' hero, Mr. Lomachenko.
Our hero, Mr.
Are you seriously trying to go to? Are you listen, dude? Really? So listen. Before I used to always think you were kind of funny with your Mr. and Mr. bullshit, but the fact you just did that, dude, just showed me you're kind of a wormy little fuck, aren't you?
Oh.
Where you fucking, listen, you had it jumping like fucking had nothing to do with nothing. You couldn't take your medicine, right? You were in here telling us what we didn't know what we were talking about. Instead of coming back and being a man, you said, "Oh, you're here with Lomachenko." You know what, dude? Why don't you fuck off?
Oh, wait a minute, Jimmy.
He's deflecting. He's deflecting, BDA.
No. Well, he might be deflecting, but you're insulting one of my callers, and that is unacceptable. Second of all, Vinny, I do have to give you credit because you said Wilder by 7th round knockout, so at least you got the round.
I agree
correctly.
with you, Jimmy.
You recognize? Shut up, man. I'm trying to play advocate here, but listen,
I know. I apologize. I'm really hard on Vinny. I know.
Vinny, you said Wilder's going to take care of the rubber match, and he might take care of it, but also you should be taking care of yourself because I think you're a little fucked up in the head, a little bit. All right, Vinny. So listen, we got other people.
You're a little bit fucked up in the head.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
You're here with Lomachenko, right?
Has it been hard? Let me ask you a question, Vinny. Vinny, can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Recognize.
Has it been hard to sleep?
Oh.
Since Saturday night?
Come on.
Just a question. I just want to know.
Yes, actually, it has been. I'm just really upset. I'm really disappointed. You guys can go ahead and laugh all you want, but I promise you guys, on the rematch, I will be celebrating. I can promise you that, guys. I promise I will be back.
All right, listen, I'm not laughing at
Vinny,
you.
I'm dancing as you're talking right now.
They used to have a cartoon about somebody like you was that coyote always trying to catch that roadrunner. How did that work out for him?
All right, listen, Vinny, take care.
I promise you, next time.
Mr. PDA.
Yes.
One more thing.
One more thing, because we got.
I would like to publicly. Yes, I would like to publicly apologize to all my fans who expect me to get these right.
Hey, listen, Vinny, we gotta go, buddy. Yeah, nice talking to you.
Wilder was hurt.
All right, take it easy.
Vinny, there's a nurse on the floor,
buddy.
Yeah,
have a nice one. Call it next time.
Take it easy, Vinny. We gotta go.
Fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself too.
All right, Vinny, we got a lot to get to here. Sorry, guys. Another phone call. 910. You're on the air. 910.
Oh God. Hey guys, it's Steven Schneider.
Hey, Steven, thank you for calling in. You think you can follow the great Vinny Mac, or you want to take a little pause and then let other people call?
I didn't plan on comment. I didn't know Vinny Mac was going to be right before me, but I'll tell you what, Vinny Mac has the pound for pound chin and boxing podcast. That motherfucker takes hits and doesn't drop.
Yeah, he just keeps on coming, man. He tries to tire you out. No, but Vinny's a good guy. He's just,
I don't know if I can follow that up, but
listen. I've told him a million times, I want to take you under my wing, teach you the ropes, but he refuses to. He thinks he's got it all figured out.
That guy's a draw, man. He's like the Adrian Broner of podcasts.
All right, so Steve, what's up?
You want to take him under your wing? I want to put him in a shooting range.
Come on. Now, wait. No. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. All right. So what's up,
Steve
Steven?
Brown got arrested again?
Market probably.
Yeah. So what's up? What's up with Steven?
Oh yeah. Anyway, back to reality. Yeah, I just call, man. There's just like 2 or 3 things I want to get at real quick, because I know you got other callers and stuff. But like this narrative I'm hearing like popping up all over the fucking interweb. They're comparing like Wilder fanboys are comparing the Wilder loss to the AJ loss versus Ruiz. Now, first off, Joshua dropped Ruiz, and that shit was competitive for multiple rounds. This was a one-sided beating. It is not comparable in any way. That's the first point. Like, just nix that right away, like completely. And second off, the blueprint is out. Like, you know, for all the, and also, you know, this is, I don't know, like a silver lining for all the people like me, and I'll admit I was wrong, that picked Wilder. We did all say, though, that if Fury did actually, you know, get on the inside, rough him up, actually let his hands go, sit on his punches, put him on the back foot, he would win. We just didn't think that he would do that, but he actually did it. He fucking did it.
He sure did.
You know?
Yeah, he sure did.
So,
but
we're all eating crow, right?
Well, I mean, those of us who pick Wilder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and another thing too, you know, I knew Wilder was, you know, a lot of us were saying it for a long time. You know, Wilder's bad, but golly, man, I didn't know he was that bad. Like, he's really bad. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, anyway.
Well, you gotta give Fury credit. I mean, he's the one that made him look bad. He said what he was gonna do, and he did. He came forward, took the shots in the first 2 rounds, and then just kept on coming and brutalized Deontay Wilder. I'm looking at your pick here. Right?
True, but you're right, BDA. But I think there's going to be lesser people than Fury that are going to do something similar to him. I think he's done, man. I think this third fight's probably going to be even worse than this one. And I think after that, he's probably not going to retire. He's not going to retire. It's too much pride. And he's probably going to get, I mean, they might put him with some bums, but if they put him against somebody with the half a brain and, you know, a decent punch and some stamina, like, they're going to press him, man. Like, all right, for example, Otto Wallen, right? Remember that fight with Fury? Dude, I think Wallen might be fucking Fury, dude.
All right, let's see what people in the Discord have to say about that, guys. Gonzalo, recognize Jimmy. Who wants to go first off of that?
I think he can handle the guy with the decent punch. If you put him in there with an actual puncher, that's going to be the problem. A puncher that can press forward. Maybe not on the technical skill as Tyson Fury, but somebody with lesser skill, but with equal or harder punch, that will trouble Wilder. That's all.
I don't think
Wilder. I'm sorry to cut you off. You can go over recognize.
No, I was going to say I don't think they're going to throw him in the Fury fight right away. I have a feeling they might go the Charles Martin route, and that's going to be a dangerous fight for him too, coming off a destruction from Tyson Fury, right? I think they might go that route, see where he's at. But that could be if Charles Martin comes in to win, he has a big punch because, you know, when you're naturally a big guy like that, there's momentum in those punches. You know, you got to be careful. And you saw what he did to Gerald Washington. Washington he's washed up, but basically, you know, he hit another man just as big as him, and one punch and stopped him basically. So you got to watch out for. Even though I would, of course, everybody here would take Wilder to beat Martin, but he's still a threat because the thrashing Wilder guy, and there's a blueprint now how to beat him. You know. And it's not a difficult blueprint either.
Jimmy, go ahead.
Plus, there's a major factor also in play. He doesn't have the options to do all that. He's not in the driver's seat. He lost that. Only thing he has is an option clause. He can either opt out or call it. And if he calls it, and if, you know, Fury decides, it has to be the next fight. That's not up to Wilder. He doesn't, he's not going to say, all right, I'm going to call for that option. I'm demanding a third fight. Okay, but I'm going to do this first. It's once he says, I'm going to, you call the option as the champ, he decides when it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to fight now. He's not going to let him go tune up with anybody. And someone like Wilder is so mentally fragile. He just really is. Anybody got hyped up in the ref, he's still swinging when the dude's fucking, the ref's got him by the waist. Listen, he's a hyped up dude. He's bought into the hype. He's been dropped a bunch of times in the images. They matched him as soft as puppy shit his whole career. And when he I've been saying it from fucking day one with this dude, when he finally loses, it's going to be rough. You see the look in his face? It's a whole new world for him now.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world. He's not that invincible. And I'm telling you, I don't care who you are. When you've never lost, and you've always had your hand raised, right, in the pros, and he's just, fucking, that shit, like, you don't come into the next fucking ring. I mean, you shouldn't come in with another outfit like that. And, I mean, he needs a little humility. And if he wants to focus, who knows? Is he going to do it? I don't know. I'd like the caller said, I'm going to agree with him there. I think he took a big, big beating. He was fucking swollen. He might have fractured his eye socket. He definitely ruptured his eardrum. And, he took a big beating. And Breland was right to stop that because he probably could have killed him.
All right. Steven, you said you had a third point, or I don't know if you went through them.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Just, third point I'll drop real quick is the whole AJ situation when it comes to the whole Fury Wilder thing, like the game just changed like dramatically because I think a lot of people now are like, man, AJ's going to smoke his ass if he fights Wilder. That changed a lot. And now I changed my opinion of Fury versus AJ because I used to think AJ was just going to walk him down, just get in there and beat him up. But, man, I don't know, man. If that Fury shows up versus AJ, we got to fight, boys. I'll tell you that right now. We got to fight.
Yeah, man, that would be two giants. All right, listen, Steven, thank you for calling in, man. Always appreciate your calls, and thank you for the input, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries, man. Love it. Best boxing channel. Best boxing channel on YouTube.
All right, thank you. Really appreciate that, Steven. Thank you. All right, take it easy, man.
When you're right, you're right. The man is right.
Listen, let's go to another call because this guy's been waiting for almost 16 minutes. So we'll get to that and then we'll get back to the fun on Discord and maybe a couple of more StreamYard calls because Butch says that it's echoing. So, all right, 929, you're on the air, 929.
Fuck.
Hey, good evening, fellas. It's Virtuoso.
Oh, Virtuoso, thank you for calling in, man.
Whoa,
Yeah, so I just want to start off by saying, I want to give props to Recognize the Matrix. I want to give props to Stu. I want to give props to Bucho for basically breaking down what exactly was going to happen. And it did happen. Fury went in there with more confidence in his punching power to dispatch Deontay Wilder. And I was so adamant about like just picking him to win because of that power that he possesses, that one shot, one kill, mentality that I think has brought him down to where he is at this moment. And this is going to go out to all these fucking race hustling, fucking casuals, all this, PBC and fucking LDBC heads. You fucking hard-headed fuckers, man. You fucking dumbasses, man. The answers were right in front of us the whole fucking time since, I guess, Luis Ortiz. When he started fighting, the upper echelon of the heavyweight division, okay, it pretty much summed it up, what happens to him when, he fights a skillful fighter. He runs into these habits of okay, I gotta make something up, I gotta throw the Hail Mary and boom, I win, right? Mm-hmm. And so all these enablers, just kept running on that tactic. And it was just a losing strategy from the get-go. Like, his game has regressed. And we didn't want to, like, me included, because I knew what was going on. I knew how Tyson Fury was gonna win, because I listen to the show, all the time, as much as I can. And it still didn't dawn on me that he was gonna pull out this victory the way this happened. I mean, to me, it was kind of unexpected, but not surprising, because he has a bag of tricks. Tyson Fury has a bag of tricks, whereas Deontay Wilder has nothing in the tank.
Well, he does have one trick.
To him, for
yeah, he does have one trick. He has one trick, and that's the one right hand. Now, it's good of you to give Stu and Recognize and Bucho and Jimmy credit, but I will take a little bit of credit away from Jimmy because he was probably on some of them edibles when he made his pick, and he probably tapped into another dimension, and that's as he was able to make the correct pick. Jimmy, I think you got a little chemical help there, man.
No, I was definitely high as a kite when I made it, but no, I've been doing pretty good lately. I've been even calling some miles. I was just off on that one. I was so close, man. I really thought he was going to fucking end him in the fourth. Because when he went down, I didn't think he was going to come back. No, but no, he did, dude. And listen, when you go, if you rewatch it, watch what he does, right? He feints him. And the first feint, usually Wilder's hands would come up. The second feint, if you could double feint him, then he would, the minute he got him to lean back, just even a little, right, to lean backwards, then he would jump him with the left because then he would keep going back, and there's nowhere to go. The worst thing you can do, I'm sure you guys know that, worst thing to do is lean backwards. Absolute worst thing to do. He never bends at the knees. Even fucking Fury at 6'9" bends at the knees. You know, it's just crazy that. And Breland was such an unbelievable, talented fighter too. I don't know. It depends, like you guys said, it's the right hand. He fell in love with it. He thought it was the magic thing. I'll swing, look silly. I'll eventually catch these fools. And
yeah, man. He really did. One trick, man. It was one trick, and when it failed him, it just failed all the way through. Shout out to Michael Polaco, who just donated via the super chat, and he says Fury proved he can adapt to fights. Wilder is all but done. Well, let me ask you, Virtuoso. Let me ask you that: do you think Wilder is done, or do you think he's got a strong mentality, and with that punch, anything can happen?
Well, it really depends on the decision making. I know he has an option to execute a rematch clause to get that together, but I don't know, man. The way he turned out, at the end of that fight, man, it's like he's gonna need more time to recover. And I know a lot of people have been saying that he needs a new trainer. I mean, that's all well and good, but like, when have you seen this guy in interviews that, okay, I need to change up something, because it was pretty evident, what happened to him in the first Luis Ortiz fight, that he was getting his ears boxed off, and because of that right hand, that rabbit's foot, as I call it, has been bailing him out of all these situations. And when Fury took that away from him, it's like, okay, what's your plan B? What is your plan C? What's your next? Do you have a wrinkle in your game? Absolutely not. He did not have anything behind it, because it was just like once I saw that he had his ear ruptured or cut, whatever it is, I knew his equilibrium was off, and he had lost his legs. From that fourth round on, I knew that uphill battle was very close to an end, because he had no hope of just turning it around. I mean, I credit him for having that faith in him, in himself, to turn that around. Because hey, that's the nature of heavyweight boxing, right? One punch could change everything. But that wasn't the case at all. Credit to the Gypsy King, man. He really turned us all into believers. And I know he's had support from the UK, but he's also America's champion. I mean, he basically just owns Vegas. So now you're a star on both sides of the pond. So that really makes the going forward. It makes the negotiations for that mega fight, that unification for Undisputed with AJ, really interesting. Because like he has the bargaining power. He has Bob Arum behind him. And he's much more of a star here than any other heavyweight. So far currently. So I'm very interested in that fight. More than Fury versus Wilder. Rematch. Because
man.
It's just not.
It's going to be fantastic, man. It's going to be big, at least big, interesting fights, hype fights from here on in. Listen, Virtuoso, thank you for calling in. We're going to move on, but thank you for calling in. And really, you hit the nail on the head with that. Stop for these fans who make everything personal. Stop taking this ain't basketball, this ain't baseball, it's not hockey, it's not team against teams. It's fighters against fighters.
He tried to put significance on this thing. He added like a cultural relevancy to this fight, and it's just setting up for failure. That whole Black History thing. It's like, come on, man. When have you ever had like stood up for Black rights? Where was that energy when he was with Donald Trump in the White House, huh?
Oh well, listen, we're gonna see. Unfortunately, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not gonna stop. If AJ versus Fury happens, it's gonna be the black Brits against the white Brits. Unfortunately, some of them are gonna start acting that way.
Over there. They're different.
Still gonna continue.
All right, thank you, Virtuoso, for your call, man. Take it easy.
They're already saying the LDDC along with you need to get rid of Breland, which is I think insane. Listen, Breland knew. He didn't say it, but they knew. His equilibrium was off and could have got really hurt. So
yeah,
and they're
kind of blaming him.
Yeah, exactly. They're blaming him for that. It's like, dude, they should have stopped. If he would have kept him going, he was done. He was backing up to the. You know why he kept going back to the ropes? It's because he was wobbly.
Yeah.
I was listening to the LDBC. I was eavesdropping on Fred Hawthorne. He said that he called his strength training coach that was in Wilder's corner. And he said that Anthony Durrell went up to Breland and said, "Oh, we love our king. We need to stop the fight," and that's why Breland threw in the towel.
We love our king. Wait, we love our king.
Yeah,
he's a man. He's not no fucking king. Like. Precise video was so on fucking point, man. Precise did a video.
It's like those mothers they call the kid my king. He's my king.
It's kind of honestly, it's kind of like creepy. I don't want to defend nobody, but it's creepy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like I will never I will never in my damn life. And most people who come from my culture will never refer to another man as a king. Like
that's how you call me. That's how you call me.
King Wilder. King Wilder. Our king.
And it was funny. The song, the introduction, everything black. And at the end, it was a white towel that flew in.
Dude. If you go watch... I know Precise could be a pain in the ass with his hard opinions. But, man, he fucking broke it down in his last video. That shit was a classic. Like it's everything that people like myself notice, and a lot of other people. It's like this acceptance of shit, basically. Putting a crown on top of, a head of shit, basically.
Think about it, dude. They were fucking right across the board was saying right up into this fight that he's a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
And the 10 defenses.
That dude right there. Hey, come on, dude. He doesn't know how to do anything.
And the 10 defenses.
Yeah.
Jimmy, the 10 title defenses. What do you think about that? They kept mentioning those 10 title defenses.
God. Against ex-NFL players and fucking short little fucking Polish dudes. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Jimmy. It was nothing. It was, look, man. I give Wilder credit for this. For such a limited fighter and such a protected fighter, I didn't think. Look, I'm gonna be the first one to admit I always thought he was shit of a fighter. I didn't pick him to beat Ortiz the first time.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think he could pull it off. I thought he was that bad. But then I gave him a little bit of credit, and even though I thought Fury was gonna beat him in my heart of heart, I couldn't pull the trigger like Bucho, like you, Jimmy, like Stu, because I think I even started to buy into a little bit, even though I know his fights are fucking rigged in his favor, that he could at least survive and pull it off. But I always saw this. Now that it happened, because I knew when I was watching, this guy's going to get fucked up one day. I didn't know it was going to happen by Fury. Right, I have to be honest. I didn't know that Fury was going to be the guy to do it to him, and Fury Fury just destroyed him, exposed him for everything I knew in my head he was. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what? Recognize, like they forced it down everybody that like it went from like he could be the hardest puncher of all time to he is the hardest puncher of all time. It went like, from day and night, all of a sudden, he is. Uncontroversially, the hardest puncher in history.
Against who? That was my question. That was our question.
Right. That's what Bucho always said. It's like, against
recognize. Was it a legitimate question that we were asking? You know what I mean?
When you're making that kind of claim in the history of boxing, where you're gonna probably meet some of the hardest punching people you will meet in your lifetime or in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to back that up. You got to
exactly. We got to look into.
He's not powerful than Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was knocking out G's. These were dudes who had reputable, records.
Contenders.
They were
opponents matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Opponents matter at the end of the day.
And Wilder never knocked out anybody that was really reputable. Okay, you want to give him Ortiz? I'll give you that. I'll give you
dude's in his 50s, man. I bet my life that dude's 52, 53 years old.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't take the punishment.
And if he's 40, he looks terrible. This is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
If
Dude,
he's
even
40,
the diseases he was fighting were old.
He looks terrible for a 40-year-old. Okay, he looks terrible.
All right, listen.
But I'll tell you, you know what I liked, what I respected the most about Fury too, after when I got to know him more by watching videos. You know what? When he said he knew he wanted to knock Wilder out, when it went from just wanting to beat him to wanting to knock him out, is when he said he could knock out Mike Tyson. He said that got him so furious that why the fuck would you call out a fighter from another era? He's like, that's such a bitch move.
Yeah, but you know what?
He goes, the dude can't pretend himself.
That to Wilder's defense, though, did they ask him, "Do you think you could beat up Tyson?" or did he bring it up?
I thought he tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's because he's jealous of Mike Tyson. Because Mike Tyson, he was very, very popular. One thing that Wilder never achieved until this fight, possibly. And another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and another thing, the whole intimidation factor, Mike Tyson's intimidation factor was genuine. This guy kind of faked it and pushed it.
He was manufacturing it. That's why he tweeted out he would knock out Mike Tyson. I got the same gut feeling that fucking Tyson, Fury did. I'm like, man, that's kind of a scared thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? He called it a coward move. I'm like, that's just kind of, I'm like, who are you trying to convince, dude?
And it's ironic that a guy named Tyson that was named after Mike,
that's
got
true.
to knock him out.
That's true. Hey, listen, guys, let me get to somebody.
Guys.
Let me get to somebody on StreamYard. Bucho, I muted the mic, and they said on StreamYard they can't hear me if I mute the mic. So let's give it another. True. Let's give it another go on StreamYard. We got London, AK, and you guys tell me first if you can hear the echo. All right, London, do us a favor and speak a little bit to see if the people on the Discord hear an echo.
Yeah.
What's that?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Guys, do you hear echo or?
No, it's fine. The echo comes from the phone calls.
It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to Tyson Fury. That was a great performance. I was actually shocked at what Tyson Fury actually did. How guys does that? You come up to someone, you tell them what you're going to do before you actually fight them, and pull it off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're losing him.
You're cutting up. You're cutting up a little bit, London. You're cutting up.
Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all I was trying to say to you is that, Wilder actually messed up. I mean, like, it's embarrassing as it goes anyway. I mean, like, this whole Black History Month thing, that was uncalled, unnecessary. You know what I mean? Wilder comes across as an insecure individual. I mean, he's one of them guys whereby, like, you'll see, like, the biggest guy in the room will be making up so much noise, and you catch them one by one, and you fuck them up, and you find out they're a pussy. That's what Wilder is,
Yeah, he's probably one of those type of guys. I don't know for sure, but, like, you know who I really blame the most, caller? His fans. Like, look, I don't mind you supporting somebody because you share an identity. Like, that's just human nature. To do something like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But first of all, don't be overwhelming with that. Like, don't criticize other people that do it. That's one. And second, at least ask for some type of standards. Like, say, look, I want somebody to represent us that somebody that I would cheer for and speak good upon would be somebody who has high standards, somebody who speaks well, or at least tries to speak well, and if whatever profession he's in, that he's trying to be excellent at that. Wilder was never trying to be excellent. He was just one punch at a time. And his fans, it was mainly on YouTube and social media. His fans were basically, like trying to convince people that that's all you need. And then we see what happens to for Fury. And look, Fury's going to get his ass whipped. He boxes long enough. Somebody will beat that ass. I'm really convinced of that. Somebody will beat him. Okay? But what I'm saying is that Fury's an excellent boxer, and you're putting him in there against a pretender, a guy who just has one weapon. And this happens, and now they're like, they set the stuff up for failure, man. If you look at the whole thing, Black History Month on February, he ends up losing on it, and this is what happens, man, when you put race into everything. You shouldn't put race into everything. You're going to set yourself up for failure.
All right, let the caller go.
There was an interview I remember AJ saying a few years ago, saying, how much does Deontay Wilder weigh? And it must have said something like 16 stone, 15 stone. He goes, I'd go straight to the body on him. And I always remember that. I thought to myself, boy, yeah, that's how AJ wants to come and push this guy. It's just that Fury got there first, isn't it? Fury actually went in there first and did what,
And he got him out there first, yeah.
Exactly, that's what I think happened. And the way he did it as well, this is one of the fights whereby I was actually smiling at the punishment. I was like, boy, every single punch that he took, every single lick, I was like, yes, good. That'll take you down a little bit. All that shit he was talking, like, it was just unnecessary, I want them people that, if you're going to talk shit, back it up. You know what I mean? Don't talk shit on the other side of the yard, yeah, and don't do nothing. You gotta back it up. With Wilder, you just chatting shit all day long and not doing nothing, just avoiding fights. And these little minions, these LDBC goons, just running around promoting this bullshit. I used to come across casuals who used to come and tell me, people are avoiding Wilder. No one wants to fight him, da-da-da-da-da. And I'd be like, boy, don't you know what's going on? You need to actually find out what's going on. But that's just the game, innit? They understand what they're doing. They know how to convince the casuals.
They know that he was garbage. Deep down inside, they knew he was garbage, bro.
You think so, Recognize?
Yeah.
I think so.
I believe that. Look, you could convince. Talking about real quick. I mean, you'd be surprised how human beings can convince themselves to believe, in nonsense. Look, I was a huge Roy Jones fan, but I always said he's not really that's not really technical boxing skills. Like, what happens when somebody clips him in the jaw? I was always kind of worried about that. When Tarver knocked him out, it all made sense to me. Like, all this stuff as a fan, it came true. I was like, oh shit, there it is. And I know that these Wilder fans, as the fight was going along and he was getting broken apart with every punch, and I think AJ, because the caller said that AJ said that he would do the same. I think AJ would have. I think he would have. That's why I always said, I'm not 100% sure he beats AJ. I'm not 100% sure after the loss to Ruiz, because if he brought it to him, he's gonna do it with a fucking jab. He's gonna do it with a jab, and that's gonna hurt Wilder. And we saw it again. We saw it in this fight.
Listen, London, we gotta move on. But anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, I just want to say that good show. Keep it up. Allow the racist shit. Because I heard a couple of shows with some racial slurs and that, and that's one of them that kind of put me off ringing, But yeah, this show's been clean, so keep up. And hey, is that Vince guy? He can't be for real, is he? Is his name Vince?
I have a feeling he's a troll, man. That's why I troll him back.
Okay.
Some people say some people accuse me and Bucho of having hired him to be some sort of a character on the phone, but we don't do that, man. We barely got enough money to scrape by as it is. We're not going to be spending it on some fucking actor or something. But anyway, listen, London, thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening to the show, and call in next time, right, man?
Peace to London.
Take it easy, man.
Bucho, too. Another thing that sucks about that whole listen, I don't want to hear about fucking your oppression your people from somebody. Listen, you want to talk about, that's a different arena. And it's not by someone with a 9th grade education who's about to get paid $40 million, dude. You're not oppressed. You know what I mean? There's nothing about you that's oppressed. It's insulting. And it's just like, do your sport thing. Keep that shit out. That just started bleeding the sport. And it alienates him. It didn't make him more popular. That Till the Day speech he gave, he sounded like a fool.
You lose fans.
You know what I mean?
Hey, can I just quick, we got somebody on the phone line. He's been waiting a long time. 240. Can you talk and just to see if the people on the Discord can hear you correctly? All right, go ahead. 240. Talk a little bit, please.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what? It's perfect. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
You hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I'm really happy that Wilder lost, but I felt like sad that he was getting destroyed. Like I actually felt like my heart was like, damn, I feel sorry for this guy. But the reason why I was really happy is because of his fans. Now they're like all hiding. You don't see no one in the comment section of the highlight videos. They're all gone. So, and it's all the LGBT fans. So I was like, finally, and this is a big blow to their organization. So I was kind of happy, but I feel bad for Deontay Wilder because, I don't like seeing any human like that get their ass beat, but he kind of, Fury had to show like that he was the best, and he was. And I was predicting a left hook to the body KO by Fury if he got the knockout, but he didn't get that. But he did knock him down, I think, in the second knockdown with the left hook. But I was predicting that he was gonna do the same thing that he did to what's that guy he fought before Wilder? I think Otto Willem. I think that's his name.
Yeah, the
Hello.
Yeah, but I think it was the fight before that. But anyway, yeah, your point's
Otto
taken.
Wallin. His name is. He was asking for the guy's name.
Yeah,
Otto Wallin.
Yeah. So that guy, I saw something that I've never seen Fury do. He boxed the little guy on the inside, and I was like, "Yo, this is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be the little guy supposed to do that." But somehow Fury, he's really slick and smooth with that. His skills, and I was like, he's gonna do the same thing to Wilder. He's gonna find him on the inside. He's gonna go to the body. But in this fight, I saw him doing a little bit of like he did the same thing that what's his name, Andre Ward did in the first fight against Kovalev. He kept holding and holding a lot, but what's his name, Fury was putting his weight on Deontay Wilder, and that was gassing him out a lot too. So I did notice the nice techniques that he was doing. That my wife said it was boring. She's like, "This is boxing. This is what he's just holding him and weighing on." I was like, "That's a technique. That's how you got. It's legal." But I think he got a point for that.
When you were watching a fight with your wife and she starts saying, "This is boring. Let's watch something. Let's watch Sex and the City reruns." Tell her, "Listen, the bathroom needs cleaning. Why don't you go ahead and take care of that?"
But I don't blame her. That for someone who doesn't normally watch it, I could see how they would think that fight wasn't entertaining.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, wow, that's I see what he was doing. He was holding a lot and putting his weight on Wilder, and I saw that was taking a toll on Wilder. He was getting tired because of that too, and he got him with that cross. A lot of people were making conspiracy theories like, oh, it was behind the head. And so
nah, man, it was right. It was right where it needed to land. It was right where it needed to land. Listen, 240. We got a whole bunch of calls. So before we let you go, just real quick, who do you want to see Fury fight next? You want to see the rubber match, which is apparently Deontay Wilder. Apparently, right now he wants it, or you want to see a Fury Joshua fight?
No, I think that's done. He's been exposed. I think he lost. Technically, he lost the first one, but it was a robbery, which I predicted would happen if it went to a 12-round decision. I think he beat him the first time, and he beat him again with a knockout this time. So, no, I don't. Maybe after Joshua and Fury, then they come back. But right now, I want to watch, AJ versus Fury. That'll be a nice fight.
All right, fantastic. Listen, 240, thank you for calling in. Thank you for giving us your contribution. And you got to keep that wife of yours in check, man. Tell her, listen, this is boxing, all right? It's not always going to be a slugfest.
All right, man.
All right, take it easy, man. Thank you for calling in. All right, so we got a whole bunch of calls, but before we do that, there's a guy in the chat room whose name is Dan Victor Orban Duke, and his avatar, his pic, that guy he was fighting with the Black Israelites, that video where the guy, the one of the Black Israelites goes, "The Holocaust was a joke. The Holocaust," and the guy goes, "No, that's awful, man. That's awful." He's got that picture. How the fuck do you choose that as your picture, man? Anyway, Jimmy, you want to say something? Sorry.
Can I mention two comments real quick, BD?
I thought it was. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just laughing at what you were saying, dude.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say something earlier, but I forgot. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say.
All right, Gonzalo, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, it's really rare when you see another heavyweight KO somebody else to the body. That's to the collar. I don't know why, but you hardly ever see another heavyweight knock out another heavyweight with the body shot. Oh, and interesting, like the LWC was saying that a lot of the wrestling tactics he learned from because they send you to wrestling school, the WWE, because he wrestled for the WWE, that he learned those grappling skills and how to utilize his leverage when he got his contract with the WWE.
There's ways to defend that too. When somebody leans on you like that, because I fought a lot of guys who were taller than me. It's so easy to defend against that. The minute they lean, you just drop down a little. Like the minute you don't put the weight, you drop, so they fall forward, and it becomes obvious, and it gets the ref's attention to it a lot quicker. But yeah, you always, because when they fall forward, and if they go down, it's always harder for them, when they have to get back up and stuff, especially bigger dudes.
Well, it just goes to show you,
Wilder. That's what I'm saying. Like, Wilder didn't know what to do about anything. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that just goes to show you weren't even a professional, but you were around long enough with experienced people to know, listen, if somebody does this, you counteract it this way. Wilder, maybe he knew it, but he just couldn't pull it off. But even if if that's the case, then that means he wasn't prepared to do it in the ring. So, we can't give him credit for that. Let's go through phone calls real quick, because these people have been waiting for a while, and then we'll get back to the Discord. Shit, I accidentally hung up on somebody.
You hung up on somebody.
Yeah, I did that 2 times. I did that 2 times the last episode when you weren't there manning the lines.
Yeah,
all right, we'll call back, man. Call back immediately, and I'll get to you, and then we'll get to the other call. But listen, guys,
we'll get to the other call in the meantime, so we can.
Oh, we take the other call? Okay, because I don't think it was fair for the other. All right, real quick, 205. You're on the air. 205.
Hey.
Yeah, 205. You're on the air, man.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, you're on the air, man.
Okay, look, hey man, I'm just gonna say this about Deontay Wilder. Look here, his first mistake was coming out there with that 300-pound guard on. He should have never did that. Should have just wore a robe and came onto the ring. But besides that, Deontay Wilder have never learned how to box. Against Ortiz, he was behind on both parts. Both parts, he was losing. But what saved him was the right hand. He was behind with Tyson Fury in the first fight. What saved him was the right hand. But what's going to happen when you can't throw the right hand? Have he ever learned to double and triple his jab? When a man is coming at you that big, what do? Do you let him hang on you, or do you punch and move? Punch and move. Left, right, use your hand, use your jab, move. You don't let him
exactly,
go. And then his flavor mistake was getting up against the ropes. Let that man lean on you. If you're going to get against the rope, don't touch it and get off the rope.
All right, but call it.
Tyson Fury, but he got to take a different trailer. Taylor Ellis or Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Okay, caller. I think I didn't hear the last part. Did you just name a trainer? Somebody who would be the suitable trainer for Deontay Wilder?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you right now. If only 2 men can help him win this next fight, there's Taylor Atlas or Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Oh. What do you guys think about that?
But I'm sorry, did he say Mayweather?
Teddy Atlas and Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Well, the reason why I wouldn't say Floyd Mayweather Sr., not that I have anything against his skills, I think he's a great trainer. That's not the environment for Wilder. He'd have to need the distractions would play on him. I think what he actually needs, I think like somebody like not Ronnie Shields, but the dude, a Toro Gotti's trainer, somebody like that. Somebody listen, Buddy McGirt. Someone won't say, listen, Buddy got kind of a personality like a fucking hippie boxing coach. Like he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like he's got that attitude. I don't give a fuck. You do what I say or you screw. I'm not going to fight. It's not a debate. You're not my kid. So he's but you know what I mean? But he's there for his fighters. I think Breland has become too close to him, maybe. Maybe he doesn't respect Breland's, maybe he thinks of him more like family. And sometimes you need almost not fear your trainer, but you almost have to have that like it's a professionalist, and that's what my job is here for. And if you're with them too long, it stops becoming a job and almost like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, let's let the caller respond, because he said Mayweather Sr. or Teddy Atlas. Caller, do you think Teddy Atlas can...
Listen.
Go ahead.
I said Teddy Atlas. Listen to me. When he came back to that ring and he looked like he had his head down, It was no communication. None whatsoever. It's his corner they've been relaxed all the time, and most of the time everybody's been relaxed because he's been able to get somebody out there with that right hand, that powerful right hand. He have never learned how to box. Fighting is one thing, but boxing is another. He don't. Everybody's got too relaxed. Everybody's got so relaxed they forgot to train him how to box.
All right,
and
caller.
You are a trainer. Mark Brewer is a good coach, but he ain't never coached really a true heavyweight.
Caller, we all agree with what you're saying. My question is, are you a purist, a boxing purist, and this type of thing upsets you? Because you seem very animated about what happened on Saturday.
Yes, sir, because I feel like this, just like Ted Allen said. You either pay me now or pay me later. You might get by with 32 fighters with that power right hand. And there's going to be somebody that coming down going to know how to eat that right hand. So what do you do here? Once your right hand is gone, what you going to do here?
That's right.
Nothing, because you ain't learned that now. You haven't learned that now. Because you can drive a car doesn't mean you can drive a plane.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn.
That's right. Well, listen.
You got to learn how to drive a plane.
That's right. Well, listen, point taken. Very good points. I think most people will agree with you. Like Jimmy said, maybe Brilliant has become too close to Wilder. He might be getting the boot, according to what some people are saying. So, but thank you for calling in, man, and call back next time, right? Enjoyed your energy.
Thank you.
I enjoyed your energy.
And Bucho, the reason why he wouldn't have conversations in the corner, right? Because think about it, they didn't train for anything else other than, all right, listen, he's going to dance and move. You know what I mean? You're going to have to hunt him down. You're going to have to just catch him in the right. I mean, it's a 1-2. That's all. If you look at their videos, it's all they trained for. So what else was he supposed to say? Okay, it's not working. No, he just didn't know what to say, probably. Plus, he's a soft-spoken dude, so maybe not didn't pick it up. But I know your call was good.
Gonzalo said that Wilder never hits a punch. That he never runs, or he rarely runs. Right, Gonzalo?
Yeah, he rarely runs.
Do you guys think that all he did was basically just the pads and some sparring? Because I can imagine that. And
all he does is sprint run. Right,
he runs on a treadmill sometimes, but
yeah,
he doesn't
that's
run.
Not, that's not real like training for boxing is like a marathon. When you're dealing with guys who know how to box, sometimes it comes down to endurance and longevity. So he never trained for that because he was one of those guys that just felt that my power, and he's in good condition too. Like he's got like very low body fat, being 6'7", 230. Right, he usually comes in around 220. But that's very little body fat. So he doesn't do much because he doesn't know how to do much. So going 12 rounds, I'm gonna guess it's not that much of a problem for him. But when you're bashing his face in, you're hitting him up, that's when that running and all that stuff that he avoids starts catching up to him.
Well, it was the stress too, like Jimmy said, the wide open eyes. I mean, he's very. And I said this before the first two Ortiz fights. If you feint him, you can drain the energy by not even punching. Oh, hold on, before we continue, the caller that I accidentally hung up on is back. 786, you're on the air. 786.
Hello.
786. Yes, you're on the air. What's up?
Yeah. So now I was gonna say shout out to Tyson Fury because I didn't believe that he was actually gonna do it because all the changes that he did, I thought that was gonna work against him, but obviously he proved me wrong. So by just that fight, I kind of realized that guy is really talented, Tyson Fury.
Well, you know what?
He was able to change. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, he was able to change and change his game plan versus he fought completely opposite to how he was fighting before. Like he was coming forward and taking it to Wilder, and he basically told them the game plan, and he still did it and accomplished it. So but as far as Deontay, I really hope he gets back, but I still want to see Undisputed. But if he get the rematch, he just got to do the same thing Tyson did. Do whatever it takes to win, whether it's to get a new trainer, change something up, try to learn something new.
He's got to learn how to box,
quickly.
Paula.
You know what he's gonna do?
Gotta learn how to box.
Who's that black guy?
Dude, things like
black guy on the show. Who's that black guy?
Which black guy?
Who's that black guy?
Oh, you mean okay? Yeah.
How you know I'm? Wait, caller. How you know I'm black? I think you called in before, didn't you?
I did. Nah, I know you black, bro. I know you black. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm Puerto Rican, but yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you.
No, hold on. Let's stay on this. Let's stay on this race thing. All right, now go ahead.
He's half black. He's half black, caller.
Now give us your question.
Actually, keep it 100 with you. I'm 85% European, and like I'm 85% European. Okay, I did my genealogy. I'm 85% European, and 15% others, and African happens to be the other.
Are you sure? We don't want you to be like Pocahontas.
You're white. You're white.
Nah.
You're white.
No, I identify myself as Latino, Puerto Rican. That's what I identify myself.
It's part of the Aryan Brotherhood.
Hold on. Let the caller. First of all, Jimmy's having.
Like what? Like.
Hold on, caller. Just you want to repeat that again? I didn't hear you.
No, I was asking him like how he looked like how you telling me you 85%? Like what do you people see you as, white or black?
Well, first of all, if you saw me, you would see that I got straight hair. I'm more olive skin than I am brown skin.
About that.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish. You asked me what I look like, right? You're going by the picture that you see, right? If you would look really quickly,
I didn't.
You would look quickly. If you would look quickly, right, not judged by the voice, you would see that you're looking at a man that's definitely 100% not 100% black. Okay.
All right. Who cares? Listen. Who cares? Let's get past this. All right. So, caller.
How did we get into this?
Yeah. No.
Because he called me. He said the black, and he said this to me before. He said, I want to talk to the black dude on the panel.
Caller, let me ask you something. That I've been asking almost every caller.
You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because who do you think is the best trainer for Wilder right now? Who should train him? Who should be in his corner right now?
Actually, I never liked it as trainers. I heard Bomac. But I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth.
All right. Well, listen.
But I do believe the trainers he has now are not the best trainers for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, that's a matter of opinion. One performance, it did look bad, but that's the way it goes. Listen, caller, we're gonna have to move on. We got other callers.
Caller, where you from? Real quick, I just want to ask him. Can I ask the caller this? Where are you from, sir?
Let me leave that point. I like that point that you said that he had one loss. I see how you guys are always trying to like throw him under the bus. He only had one loss to the best, to someone that's considered the number one in the heavyweight division. So you guys need to chillax on my dog Deontay.
Well, to my credit, I've never said that he's completely done. That's what we were discussing in the beginning of the show. But so far,
no. You guys was hating earlier. I heard you guys. You guys was hating.
All right, play me the tape. Play me the tape where I was. Play me the tape.
I was never convinced on him as the number one.
Wilder finally stepped it up and lost. He lost the first fight. He lost the second one when he finally stepped it up. That's pretty
much
much
him face more punchers in the future because he's never really
my thing with puncher. Listen, guys, go back and watch the tape. This kid does things like I can't believe his corner. Watch before he folds his hands. I'm like, oh my god, he's really doing it again. Before you want to know when he's about to throw one of his rights, he has to set his glove up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's got to change his gloves. You watch it. I'm telling you, like almost 90% of the time, right before he threw it right, because he'd have to get his fist right. Probably afraid of breaking forward, but he always folds his gloves. So I'm sure if I picked it up, Fury was picking it up. That's why he was able to
Street
jump
Fighter,
and
Jimmy.
back.
What do street fighters do, Jimmy? What do they do?
They load up, right?
They plot, and they tip off their punches because the other guy that they're fighting doesn't know.
Dude, he was so many tells because everybody's like, wow, man, how did he jump back so quick for a big guy? I'm like, there's so many tells. He folds his glove. He leans over, and you can see him do it as he's getting ready to throw it. He keeps wobbling when he goes back and forth. He keeps opening his stance more and more. I'm like, this dude has so many tells before he throws his right hand. And I'm telling you, fucking Fury read them all. and then just snuck in the right behind the left. It was textbook. What he had to do. So now
Wilder's a strong
Wilder
dude.
just
Wilder's a strong dude. That's what I give him. If Wilder wasn't strong with his non-boxing skills, Fury would have knocked him out in this first or second round. Because it takes... Look, he was lost, bro. When he was getting hit, he looked like a man only been in street fights and don't understand what the boxer's trying to do to him. That's what he looked like, but he's so strong that he was able to take that.
Type of skills, bro. He has some type of skills. You can't say he doesn't have any skills, though. I mean,
No, he got skills. What I mean, caller, this is what I mean. He got skills. There's no doubt, but it's limited, and he can't do it for a long period of time. Is what I'm trying to say. He can't do it for a long period of time.
Well, let me ask you, Carla. What did you see Saturday night that was still?
He has punching power.
Hold on, guys.
Wait. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here. Let's have some parliamentary procedure.
Yeah.
Go
Okay, Jimmy, go ahead with your question to your caller.
No, I was just going to say, what exactly did you see Saturday night that you would say was skillful?
I mean, he was throwing the jab like in the first, second round. He was setting up the right hand good. He caught him a few times with the right hand.
Did you pay attention, caller? Did you pay attention to his footwork though? Did you really pay attention to that?
As the first two rounds was good before he got hit in the ear. I mean, he was doing okay. He had the same footwork he had in all his fights. Basically, it's not too good.
That's right. It's not good. Basically,
Did you ask yourself how come he can't catch him with those rights? How come he just keeps missing? How come Tyson just keeps getting out of the way? The reason why is because of all the tells. He has tells that usually you get rid of in the amateurs. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
He's
caller.
been on the game for a long time. He does a lot. He has a lot of tells.
Yeah, caller. Jimmy is saying that he that's his main point, is that he cocks his right hand. You can see it coming. That's why even a 270-pound guy was able to just take a little step back and make him miss. Now, to your point, the first two rounds were good for Wilder. That's because Fury wasn't yet coming forward. He was still doing what he did more or less in the first fight, which was giving him distance to get that right hand off. But the point is this: I'm a half glass half full type of guy. Wilder, with the type of athleticism he has and the type of power that he has, I do believe he can make adjustments. Maybe not life-changing adjustments at this point because he's 34 and he hasn't shown us any indication that he can completely change his style. But you just never know. With that type of power and that type of dedication that he has, the heart he showed in that fight, I believe he can do something and come back. Maybe not beat Tyson Fury again, but definitely regain a title. So thank you for calling in, man, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right?
And you said something important too there, dude. Heart. You showed a lot of heart. Listen, a lot of guys would have quit after that ruptured eardrum. A lot of dudes.
Yeah.
So if he carried on, that says a lot about him. So he's definitely tough. He's a tough kid.
Well, now here's something I want to. By the way, we're going to get back to the calls later, but so stay on the line. But I just want to get back to the guys here on the Discord because it's been a while since we've had everybody here. But can I just say, because we were talking about the loss right now, some of you guys believe, and rightly so, that maybe Wilder, it's doubtful that he'll ever get to the top or be the scary boogeyman that he was before. My question is, though, some people are saying, listen, don't let this loss define Deontay Wilder. My question is, can we finally use that to get some of these guys to get them to stop saying that Lomachenko is defined by his Salido loss?
I mean, look, like I said,
yeah.
The Wilder
man,
fans,
there it is, right there,
the Wilder
dude.
fans got on Triple G. They got on Triple G. He's washed up. He's a bum. He never got beat up like this. Never where he looks lost and he got crashed and his corner had to stop the fight. Triple G is a boxer. Wilder is not. I mean, Lomachenko is a boxer. Wilder is not. Wilder is a puncher. He's a street fighter. And look, I give him some credit because he's strong. What he is a strong dude. Look, I've gotten into plenty of street fights. I grew up a boxer. I will punch these dudes. They didn't see this shit coming from a mile away, and they would just go down. And I don't mean to be graphic. They'll have this look on this face when they knocked out. Like, you know, when somebody got their mouth open and their eyes wide open, like that. Because they don't know what's coming. They tip off all their punches, and they don't see that I'm not telegraphing my punch, so it comes out of nowhere to them. So, just from experience, watching Wilder get hit, I'm like, yo, this boy's a strong dude. Because Fury's 270. he doesn't see those punches coming. He doesn't have a grasp for it. He doesn't have self-awareness of danger, right? But he can still take it. It took an ass whipping for him to quit. You get what I'm saying? He took an ass whipping. So he's a very
Dude,
strong
I cringed
man,
at the end in that seventh round.
I'll finish this point real quick. He's a street fighter who's an excellent athlete. He's very strong, and that's his attribute. But he's not a boxer.
That's very well put, man. That's very well put. He reminds me a lot of Antoine Eccles, except with a straight right hand. All right, Jimmy, you want to say something?
No, dude, I thought I was on mute. I was talking to my girl. I was about to think about cringe about stuff she was watching on TV. I'm like, oh shit, sorry, man.
I'll throw something in there about the trainer.
Can I just say something real quick, Gonzalo?
Yes,
can I just say real quick? Just shout out to Pete who donated with the super chat. Shout out to Pete. He says, recognize that Euroblood. How many 85% Europeans have you ever seen with a Macho Camacho S-curl collars right? All right. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for the contribution, Pete. All right. Sorry, Gonzalo. What were you going to say?
Yeah, as far as the trainer, I don't think Mayweather would work because he's like a pad guy. And for Wilder, you need a big, strong person to be holding the pads, not an old man. Because you know that Jay Diaz would always complain about how hitting him, even with that round ball, the governor bag, you know, Wilder can hurt you. So you need a big guy like maybe Jonathan Banks if you're going to be working mitts with Wilder. And I think that Teddy Atlas would be a good fit because he's trained heavyweights and, you know, he's got the concept of what it takes to teach somebody how to box. But I don't think Roach or Floyd Mayweather Sr. would be a good match. That's all.
Gonzalo, let me ask you. You know about fucking him, right? You know about his personality, Atlas. Think about this, dude. How big of a fight would that be? You know, the Joshua fight. Oh, no, his next fight, his comeback. It'd be a pretty big fight. Think about his ego, how much he tried to make it about, how much he would insert himself in that. He couldn't help it at this point. My personal opinion. You want a low key dude, you know, in my opinion, you know? That's why I wouldn't want to deal with that kid Atlas. Well, he's not a kid. But I think his ego's too big.
I don't think
Plus, he just said some horrible shit about him on ESPN after the fight. He said he got totally exposed.
He did, man. He's not lying, bro. He's like,
oh, that's right. He did say that, huh?
But there's no lie detected there. He's 100% right.
Hey, he got to humble himself, maybe, you know, because he don't like criticism. He kicked Paulie Malignaggi out just for commentating on the fight. This is the thing. Like Recognize was saying, they hide the video evidence. He got knocked out. They're not willing to accept criticism. Now his fanboys are coming around. His fans are talking about, well, he can punch, but he doesn't really have technique. Well, no shit. Butcher was saying that all along. We all knew this. He can't box.
Very well said, man.
Outside of why? This is what I would ask the Wilder fans. Why outside of you guys, no one's shocked that he lost this way? No, there's no shock in anybody.
I'm a little shocked, but yeah, you're right. Your point's well taken.
No, I'm talking about in a boxing standpoint that you looked at that fight and you said this fight doesn't make any sense to me. This fight makes every sense to everybody. Will comment with just a little boxing knowledge. If it didn't make sense to you, and it's not coming from a biased point of view, I hate to say it, but you don't know boxing. Then, you know, I'll debate you on that. That you don't understand the fundamentals of boxing. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to insult you a little bit. I'm not going to say you're dumb. What I'm going to say is you don't understand boxing because you would have seen what everybody else saw. One guy who knows how to box, the other guy doesn't. That's all.
Point well taken. Recognized point. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of these guys were saying that the power. Look, if that's all you've got. And that's why I'm saying, hopefully some of these guys learn this. Hopefully some of these Wilder fans, the ones that aren't all that racist and all that out there mentally, maybe they'll say, maybe it's true. Maybe the puncher doesn't always win. Maybe you need to back it up with something a little more seasoning. Now, before we do that, the phone lines are about to close.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Now, hold on, Gonzalo. Hold on. Please, before we go, because the phone lines are about to close, so let me just get the two callers. The last two callers, I'm going to get them together. So, hold on a second. 804 and 847, you're on the air. You're both here together. Last callers of the night. So let's start with 804. All right, 804, you're on the air. What's up?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Y'all don't know shit about boxing, man.
Okay.
None of y'all on the panel.
Okay. Well, why?
I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear him.
Hold on. Caller.
He sounds like a robot, man.
The guys
I
on
think
this.
it's.
What?
Can you mute StreamYard?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all don't know shit about boxing. None of y'all on the panel. And I
Fuck out of here. You don't know shit about boxing.
Hold on. I want to hear what he has to say, man. Guys, please. Let's give him
Let me tell you why.
Please.
Let me tell you why.
Tell me why before I smack.
Please.
This is because this is D. Jefferson, and I was just fucking with you.
He got me there a little bit.
Yo, he's funny, yo. He said, y'all don't know shit about boxing.
Recognize ready to go and talk about it. Get the fuck
Yeah. Recognize still runs hot.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's
I knew, wait, time out. I knew it was D. Jefferson all the time.
You're right. You know what it was, D? You know what it was, D? It's because you did a good thing. I gotta give you props. You called in and you
I
were
like the way he did it. He said, real calm. Y'all don't know shit about boxing.
All right. What's up, D? What's up?
What's up, fellas? Hey, man. I called it, bro. I didn't call it a knockout, though. But I said after they announced the rematch, I said, well, Fury is going to take those belts off of Wilder, and I just want to see the response from these, LDBC and Wilder fanboys. I want to see the response. And it's just pretty much what I thought it was. Excuses and nonsense and rhetoric, bro. The dude lost. And as far as the shock, I think that was recognized talking about the shock. I wasn't shocked, bro, because I was confident. I got plenty of videos up. I was on plenty of lives. Just Fury's going to whoop his ass.
Now, the big question,
I thought he was going to get 12 rounds like a Spence Mikey session. Just 12-round masterclass. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Oh. Now, here's the question, D, because everybody you got the prediction right, but now people want to know what's next for Wilder. Who does he get? Because he says he wants a rubber match right away. Who does he get? Do you think he's going to change trainers? And if he does, who's the best guy for the job?
Hunter, Virgil Hunter.
Virgil Hunter.
The best thing for Wilder. Yep, try to utilize that jab. Get that jab straight. Set up that right hand. That's the best thing he can try to do with that guy. Other than that, man, you can't teach him but so much, especially going into a next fight with Fury. Try to work the jab and get that right hand in there. Get better timing on that right hand, but utilize his jab better. And I think Virgil will help him with that. Other than that, that's it, bro. There's no other person I can think of, because if you think a trainer's too good, then you would have to consider them training someone who is fundamentally sound of the sweet science, and Wilder just ain't that. So the best you can really do is just get Virgil to work with him in that fucking jab and try to get better timing and get that right hand in, because we know if you get the right hand in, it's trouble. But that's it. What else can you do with it?
You know what? You made a good point there with Virgil Hunter, maybe. Because he does
90 seconds.
He does seem like he's a good disciplinarian. Now, let me get to caller 847 here. Caller 847, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. 847. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, it's Foulpole.
Oh, Foulpole. What do you think about
I
what?
just wanted to say I hope they do the third match next, because I don't remember so much fanfare for a boxing fight like this.
60 seconds.
I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Well, could you just repeat your question, please? I didn't hear it.
No, I'm just making the comment that I hope that they make the third fight, because I don't remember there being so much fanfare for a boxing match recently like this.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, this fight really got people hyped up. I mean, Bucho kept calling me at 2 a.m. Yo, it's going to be a knockout. It's going to be a knockout. I was like, all right, take it easy, man. But yeah, man, I mean, hopefully there is, although I don't think it's going to be there's going to be that much hype now because of Wilder's, he lost his aura. I mean, it's just, it's not going to be the same thing. Now, D, I just wanted to get back to you real quick. You said Virgil Hunter. Okay. Do you think it's wise for Deontay Wilder to jump in there with Fury, or do you think he should be taking at least
10 seconds.
At least one tune-up?
No, I think he need to just go ahead and cash out with Fury. Because that's all it is a cash out, man. He gonna get, this was gonna happen in the second fight. That fool gonna get beat up, or he gonna get beat up worse. That's the only two things that's gonna happen in the second fight. So it's a cash out fight. Like, who else he gonna fight except Joshua? Joshua said he'll still fight him. So that would be a cash out fight too. But his next fight to me should just be a cash out fight, because he's gonna struggle with lower guys, and you know, some of these guys, they got half a wit. They're trainers in their camp. They're going to study film, and they're going to find a way, utilizing their style, to get inside on Wilder, work that body, and keep in range. Because if you keep close enough and keep the pressure on them, that's the key. Like, Fury exposed that. Like, that's the key. And work that body. Man, unbiased or biased boxing talk. He and I said this months and months and months ago. Somebody need to test Wilder to the body. Actually, over a year ago, we said somebody need to test Wilder to the body. And, you know, Fury was...
The problem is, Karlov, when you go to a body attack, you're really receptible to a right hand. When you go to an orthodox person's body, you kind of go into his right hand. That's the reason why most people avoid going to the body on a big right hand hitter.
Yeah.
You got to really work it in.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys this. I got to go take a little bathroom break here, but, you know, people are starting to say that the weight was an issue for Wilder. My question is, and some people are even saying, oh, Fury only won because he was so big. In that case, should Wilder do that maybe for the next fight? Just pack on 20 more pounds and try to get Fury off of him?
So do you think they'd be saying that if he would have knocked out Big Baby Miller? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he went up against Big Baby Miller and knocked him out.
Sorry, Jimmy.
No, I was going to say, if he fought Big Baby Miller and knocked him out, everybody's saying, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Put on the weight. Because to me, he looked a little slow. I think that extra weight didn't do him any good.
All right.
I think he should come in lighter, if anything.
His mouth was open.
Yeah, listen, we had some connection issues there for we had some connection issues there for about 30 seconds, but yeah. Yeah, we had some connection issues for about 30 seconds, but Jimmy, you made a...
I just want to make one... I guess I have one more question. I'm going to jump off.
Okay.
I thought Kevin Iole reported there was no eardrum rupture. It was just like a cut.
Yeah, I heard about...
know?
Yeah, I think I heard that, and some people in the chat room are saying the same thing. They're saying there was never a busted eardrum. It was just a cut within the ear, so... I mean, maybe that's the truth there. So it really
that ain't good for him.
Exactly.
Yeah. That rock. That ain't good. That's not a good thing. They shouldn't be celebrating if they're a Wilder fan. That just means he's got Jello chin. Listen, that was his first fucking adversity he's really faced. Besides, again, a 50-year-old Cuban. That's the first true adversity where he was like, okay, I'm beat up a little. and if he didn't go down because of eardrum, if he just fucking was like, backing up into the rope, putting his hands up like, don't hit me, because he just didn't want to get hit in, that motherfucker needs to retire.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And one thing about the weight, Mr. BDA, I don't think that he can put on any more weight. I think it'd be damn near impossible because he's been eating a lot to make 231. Now, with that weight, how would he put it on? And most likely, if he did add some more, because the 231, it was to the upper body, he was already top heavy, which kind of fucked up, messed up with his balance, with his him able to.
He's 34 years old too. It's almost impossible to put thick muscle on at that age without chemicals.
Hey, Jimmy, is it official? Jimmy, is it official that he bust his eardrum? I mean,
no. Listen, I just assumed it because of his reaction, the way he was reacting to the punches. He was involved, like he was just looking for a place to hide at the end. That's the reason why they threw in the towel. I thought they saw the same thing I did. Like, how long are you gonna let this do? Because another indicator of a ruptured eardrum is your fucking face swells. Like you get all the puffiness because it's bleeding into your face and shit.
Yeah.
So
Manny
like my
Pacquiao
face is
gets
swollen.
Cotto.
I guess just real quick, just real quick, guys. On the phone line, I gotta close the phone lines. But thank you for calling in. And D, what's your YouTube channel again, so people can go check it out?
Oh yeah, Speaking My Sports Talk. Y'all come check me out.
Sports, yeah.
Yo, D.
All right,
D,
thanks, sweetie.
D, I knew it was.
Sounds good, brother.
D, I knew it was you the whole time. Just
all
want to
right.
tell you that.
All right, take it easy, Paul and D. Thank you for calling in, guys. Thank you for calling in. All right.
At the time, I'm not sure that Brilliant knew that it was actually not a ruptured eardrum, but that it was actually a cut. Maybe upon further inspection, once the fight finished. But also, if you're pouring blood from a cut from inside the ear, but it's not a ruptured eardrum, psychologically, it would still have to affect Wilder, I think, because you're not bleeding out of your nose, you're bleeding from your ear, and you're kind of wondering yourself what the heck's going on. And he did have a swollen chin, like from the bottom of his face to the top of his face, it was swollen. I don't doubt that, he did lose his equilibrium. But yeah, there was no ruptured eardrum.
Yeah, then maybe he had a cracked oracle bone because he had a puff face, and that maybe was the reason why he just didn't want to get hit anymore. But I just, fuck. That was it. Not to keep going to Mickey, but that's my boy. And he fought that fight with a cracked oracle bone and a ruptured eardrum. He would have killed his brother if he threw the towel in. But also, listen, I bring that up. I don't know if you guys have seen this recently. I was waiting, they report. Yeah, Mickey's suffering pretty hard. The CTE is getting to him pretty good. He's actually talking about it now. Yeah, it's starting to become an issue.
All right, Mr. BA will be right back. So, what else? The third fight. Just my thoughts on the third fight. I don't want to see a third fight. I know it's in the contract, whatever, but there's no point. It wasn't competitive at all. Wilder just got destroyed. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And do you guys think that fight would sell? And how would they sell?
No, nowhere near as big as that one.
No.
And on top of that, listen, they're saying him fighting Joshua. Put yourself in Shelly Finkel's position now. Think about, they have to look at Wilder on top. All right, let's look at the big picture here. Remember the $120 million guarantee he turned down? How's that feel right about now? That you know what I mean? Like, that money's gone. Now if he has to even negotiate with fucking Joshua, he doesn't even have a belt. So he's lost his fucking chips. Listen, It's going to get worse. I'm telling you right now. Right now you're dealing with the LDBC and that whole fervent hatred, race, hustling motherfuckers. It's going to get worse because this is what's going to happen now. Right now they're stunned stupid. Like the best thing that Hawthorne did, like after the fight, Nate talked about his ring walk. It was historic. But you could tell he was still stunned. Now the fucking hate will start. It'll be fucking rabbit punches. And all you can do is look at his face. There was no fucking rabbit punch. Caught him behind the ear a little. But you know what? That's on your fighter who kept fucking turning to his right, bending into it.
Yeah, I think, look, it's because if he would have been a little competitive, that side, those people that are like real big Wilder fans and were kind of like blinded by the power, if he was competitive, they would still give him a chance. But I think they realized that, he's out of his element, How is he going to beat him at 273 in Fury? It's damn near impossible, I think, because Fury can box, and he's a strong guy with that size. And we know that the Wilder, can he really improve? And if he hires a trainer in an immediate rematch, would it really help him anyhow?
He's got 4 more rounds under his belt. No, it's 7 more. How many rounds have you fought Wilder now? So it's 19. Listen, that kid Gypsy, I'm telling you right now, I always go to it. At his size, be as talented as he is, and he is. So that's just, he's reading him more and more. Every round he fights with that dude, he's going to get better and better. He'll probably beat him up even worse next time.
Hey,
but just for the record, I caught some pretty good hate for my fucking prediction. Some motherfuckers on Twitter came at me kind of sideways on that.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question?
They disappeared after the fight, though.
Jimmy, can I ask you a question? In regards to Wilder's weight gain, because he did gain about 15 pounds solid muscle cut. What are the chances that was natural?
I mean, Listen, he could have always had, when you're dealing with fat, right? Like you can see some dudes like powerlifters, right? That sometimes they don't even look chunky, but you touch them and like fucking granite. There's muscle under there, so if he just shed certain fat and just did more weighted push-ups, he knows what to do. Like fucking weighted chin-ups, just all that shit. Just pull the muscle out. I didn't see anything that would indicate he needed juice. He's a huge human being, dude. He's like fucking handed like a dinner plate. He's like a size 18 shoe. And he's all legs, too. And Wilder's got spindly legs. He watched that first fight and did everything I said. Listen, you want to see him beat? And it was like pop, pop, pop. Everything I said he had to do, obviously he knows more than I do, and he did it. And you guys saw the results.
Right. No, but that was my question is, do you think Wilder was natural in the fight, in this fight? Because, I mean, he gained about 15 pounds of muscle himself.
Oh, yeah. No, Wilder, he's a fucking freak with that. He's a mesomorph body style. He can put on muscle easy. He's got round muscle bellies. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to him. You know what I mean? It's all, if he was putting it on his legs, if I saw it in his legs and his neck, like that's where juice steroids always show up in the neck. You can always see it in somebody's neck.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? And he didn't get that in the neck. I think his neck didn't look any wide. And, no, I just think, it just doesn't, it's nothing he's going to bring to the table. There's nothing he's going to learn different that, that fucking, Fury hasn't seen. Plus now that he's been 17 rounds with him, total of 19 rounds. He knows all his quirks and shit. And I'm telling you, that fold in the glove is ridiculous. He did so many bad habits. And you saw a talented boxer take a kid who is, and not trying to shit on a dude. I'm not trying to pile on. But a one-trick fucking pony. He had a right hand. That's it. And he was always against dudes. He was always the bigger man. Now here comes the 6'9", and for them to go to that should be a super division. Listen, where was all that bullshit when he was knocking out other fucking dudes who were 260, 270? Shut the fuck up.
Definitely some shenanigans. Definitely some shenanigans in there. By the way, we got La Evolucion on the line. La Evolucion, are you there?
Yes, hello everybody. How we doing on this fine Monday?
We were about to end the show now that you came on.
Come on.
Quick.
All right, gentlemen. All right. Well, I just wanted to celebrate a little real quick for everybody because, hey, American Pie is a classic, right? And your boy's the king of parody songs. Now, right here sitting in front of me, fresh off the presses, I got an 8-minute parody song. The whole American
8 minutes.
The entire American Pie song is now parodized, and it's all about this fight over the weekend. Are you guys ready to hear it?
Not today, but thank you anyway, buddy.
Cut it to 4 minutes.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah, cut it
the whole song.
All right.
Song,
what's the matter with you, man?
I'm just going to do it a cappella.
Are you going to sing it? You don't even have it recorded.
I'm going to sing it live right now.
Oh boy.
God.
I just wrote it not 30 minutes ago. I told this is fresh off the presses. It's so damn good.
Cut it down to 4 minutes, though.
Are you going to tell Don McLean cut it down to 4 minutes?
Man, 8 minutes is a lot, man.
Well,
yeah, come on, man.
8 minutes. If the viewers start dropping exponentially, somebody's going to butt in.
Exactly.
All right, you know what? Let me, what do you want, Bucci? You want the live recording?
Give me a live recording. I'll post it.
And we could put the music to it, too.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. All right, yeah, you were able to thwart Revolution singing one more night. You're going to hear it soon, though, kids.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to... We
can't hold it back. Wait.
We can't hold it back forever, is what he's saying. It's gonna happen. Yeah. People in the chat from some guy named Barry McCocken there says, please don't. I mean, come on. The guy wrote a song.
I'll give you the chorus. I'll give you guys the chorus.
We'll save it for later.
Okay,
we'll take your word for it. Thank you.
All right. Hey, recognize, by the way, my man, you got a championship match coming up. Did you hear?
No.
Yeah.
Did you go over this with my promoter, Stu?
Well, fuck promoters. I'm the Supreme Commissioner of the Trivia TKO now. I'm calling all the shots. I'm making the matchups happen. I'm ordering a defense right now. Recognize you are going to be facing Del Boy in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks this month, baby.
Okay, that's good enough training for me.
You and Del Boy. All right, there it is.
Could you explain?
Del Boy, if you're listening, I'm taking you down.
Revolution, could you explain to people who don't know what Trivia TKO is? Could you just give a quick explanation?
Man, if you don't know what Trivia TKO is, you don't know shit about boxing. We could start with that. Now, what you can do, go on YouTube, just type it in, Trivia TKO. It's a totally original name. You're only going to find the fucking... It's our trivia show here on BDA. Recognizes the champion. He defeated Johnny Boy last year. We started up a little tournament. Tournament got a little bit too long to put together, so I'm just doing them as exhibition matchups. We're going to get shit going. Jimmy, don't worry. I want you to fucking have your match soon. If we can get in touch with Thunderdome, we'll schedule something. If not, we'll find you a different opponent. I want Johnny Boy and Gonzalo to have a redemption match. I got Loser Leaves Town match. I got everything planned. Cage match, lumberjack match. We're doing it. So,
and if I have to face Mark on Rival, I want him thoroughly blood tested.
That's right. And also, I want to make a special announcement too, as well. I've been going around to other people's streams, YouTube streams, and here's my pitch to you guys. I'm willing, if you take a dildo up the ass right on live on YouTube, I'm donating 100 buckaroos. That's $100, BDA certified, right to your account. So I'll be coming over to other people's YouTube streams, and I'm going to show you what BDA boxing is all about. $100, taking it up the ass. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
Okay, let's
go, champ.
Let's see if Cameron's willing to do it, because I'm not.
Oh, yeah, come on. Maybe 100% X.
Cameron's secure with himself. He could do. He could do those
BDA,
things.
What was Cameron's pick?
Cameron,
he had Fury.
Give me a long time.
He doesn't come around. Fury. Cameron doesn't come around anymore. He's got something. He thinks the show's boring. So I mean, he stopped.
He's gonna have a child in like the next week.
Oh, next week. All right, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Also, I wanted to bring something up. I don't know if you guys on the Discord can see it, but let me just pull it up on the screen here for everybody on YouTube. Deontay Wilder is coming out with excuses now. I thought it was a fake when they said that he suggested that it was the suit, that he sued way too much and took away his legs. Now he's saying Wilder, brilliant influence to throw the towel in by Anthony Dirrell, who is trained by Sugar Hill. So he's saying Deontay Wilder. It's a human immediate reaction, he says. I didn't want to see you get...
That would be the best stoppage Dirrell has ever gotten.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, his trainer...
You know, if anybody knows about stopping a fight, it's Dirrell.
Oh, come on.
His trainer tried to blame the fucking... He did say the weight of the costume might have been too much on him going into the ring.
Man, no, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. My girl is about 5'3", and she was in the Navy, and she was marching with a fucking 100-pound backpack. All right, and she didn't fucking crying, bitch. All right, so 45 pounds. The heavyweight world champion can carry 45 pounds for 7 minutes. I don't want to hear it.
That's what I was about to say, Revolution. That what you're supposed to carry, the limit is the standard is 45 pounds on the rucksack on a 12-mile march. So yeah, anybody can carry that.
There you go, Gonzalo.
Well,
you were carrying that shit around like on your first week of boot camp. You had that down pat, I'm sure.
That's right.
What?
Like on Rival
said, supposedly training too. What?
Yeah, but that's not what his trainer's gonna say.
Exactly.
They're reaching, man. They're reaching. And
like
why? You know what Wilder said? The better man won. You know what? Leave it at that. Don't say nothing.
Wilder gonna say, right before we came out to the ring, Tupac Thug's Mansion started playing, and I got a little choked up and got in my feelings before I came out.
But you know what? It's interesting here. Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this is what happens when you make it. Look, when you got knuckleheads like barbershop conversations, just driving the race angle. You got reporters fucking bringing it up at the press conference, even aggravating Fury. It's just like when you're invested into the fight on that level. Now you're bringing it into that tribalistic level. You take the loss as like it's a loss in a fight, on a bigger fight against, race. And we crack up and laugh at it and laugh at the absurdity of it. And it is absurd. Yeah. But that's where it drives the visceral reaction on that side. But you know what I mean? We can't control that. It is what it is.
All black
That's what
cars, all
drives me.
black money, all black clothes, all black
Oh,
cars,
you told me
all
that.
black
It's
kids.
true.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the white towel goes flying in.
Okay, you gotta stop it with the white towel, man. But listen, this is what Wilder's coming out with the fucking theories now. He's saying, I'd rather guard my shield, brilliant, knowing that, and then Jay, who's the head trainer, Jay told him not to do so. He still proceeded to do it. It's kind of hurtful, man. It makes it difficult to think about things. I don't want to put negative thoughts in my head or have any kind of conspiracy theories going on, but it makes you think. And then getting influenced by the opposite team, one of the guys that trained with the opposite trainer, it makes you think. Here's my question though. Now it's clear that Wilder is just reaching for whatever he can find, because first of all, let's say it's true. First of all, they stopped the fight to keep you from getting killed. It's not like he was winning and they caught him and said, oh shit, you're cut, we gotta stop the fight. I mean, it's clear now he's reaching, man.
He's being a sore loser.
And on top of that, someone just has to play the tape back. Look at that little that fucking referee is a weasel. If you go back and watch the fight, the ref was stopping it, and then he noticed the towel.
Yeah,
he turned when he saw the count. Bucho, you caught that, right? He was stopping it on his own, and then he turned when he saw it, and then he was like, okay,
so happy.
Oh,
Jimmy,
exactly, dude. He took his name right out of it.
Jimmy, he was so happy he got bailed out of that.
Exactly, dude.
Did you notice?
Listen, instead
of being
did?
Jimmy, did you catch what he did when Wilder started complaining? And referees don't explain themselves. They say, "Listen, buddy, it's over." Okay. They take you to your corner. They check up on you. He turns around to show Wilder your corner threw in the towel. It was not me. I didn't stop it. Even though I agree with you, he was trying to stop the fight.
Kenny Bayless thought he was about to get the right hand.
He jumped in to stop it, and when he saw the corner, it was like, oh, great, I can take myself. But if he had integrity, he would have said, it's like, oh, my God. It's why, even in hockey, like the NHL, right, there'll sometimes be a goal, but the referee will say, no goal, then they'll say, I didn't hear your whistle. I was going to blow my whistle, but I didn't blow it in time. Imagine, so they do that. They actually take goals off the board doing that. But that dude, hey, he has integrity. Bayless should have said, I was stopping the fight. That was a referee stoppage. They don't want to take in that bullshit. It wouldn't. Now, look at the fucking rip that's going to probably end up going on now. And from what I heard, and from what I read it was, yes, what's his name might have worked with Sugar Hill, but they still respect Wilder. And if you look at the guys who said it, what's them, Durrells? I'm sorry, man. I ain't trying to be that way, but they're militant motherfuckers like Gary Russell. All right? And if they saw a big white dude beating on their man, and they didn't like it, and they went over and told Breland, stop it, because what do you want to see him get wailed? Because it was going that direction. So I don't think that he went over. I don't think they went over in a malicious thing. Like, wait a minute, I'd say Wilder. Wait a minute, hold on. Did they need to start out a fucking, okay, oh shit, we're gonna save our guy. We better go over and start bending fucking his ear. You know what I mean? He was beating his ass.
I got to jump off. I got two things to that point, Jimmy. Precise put a video out today, and I heard Precise made, I think, one of the best points I ever hear him make. He said, once people start bringing race into boxing, think about it. Boxing is a conflict sport by nature. So to bring race into it, you're cheering a race war is what you're doing. If you're watching a black guy and a white guy and you're rooting for the black guy, the implication is much bigger, yo. So it's very dangerous to have this race shit.
That video was excellent. That was excellent.
I say it all the time, man. I said it.
And guys,
he's a smart kid. I said it all the time. Precise is a smart cat.
And I got to run, but I will leave you with this. So bye, Mr. American Hype.
Somebody hang up on him.
Check out to Bayless, but old Kenny was dry. Them gypsy boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This is how Deontay would die."
No. Get out.
Yeah. Sign of Fury's gloves in which you have faith in Bob above.
What's that, honey? My wife said.
Dude, I want to hear that whole. Hey, listen, brother. Seriously, put that thing down. Hey, no, brother, put that whole thing down on music and put it up. Seriously. Yeah. I want to hear the whole thing.
My wife just threatened me because of that song. What you just did, you just caused conflict in my own household.
What'd she say? She like turn that shit off.
She said, if you don't turn that off, you got to leave this house.
Recognize like that mean judge on The Voice.
I bet I don't. You know, she said. Did she really say that shit?
That was kind of funny though. You got to give Revolution a little credit.
Yo, bye, Mr. American Hype. Wrote a paycheck out to Bayless, but old Kenny was dry.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
And I got 7.5 more minutes.
7.5 more minutes. Jeez,
how dare you?
Upload it.
Put that shit together, brother. Put it up on fucking YouTube.
It's coming, boys.
All right, man.
You going too far, dog.
Peace.
Like, bro, you going too far, dog.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, yeah, he went a little too far there. 8 minutes, man. I mean, come on.
Come on,
8
he's going
minutes.
crazy now.
That is a disgusting act.
All right, listen. We gotta.
I can't do it.
One thing I noticed.
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I know.
One thing I noticed when they deducted the point, Kenny Bayless deducted the point. They were not. There was clinching, but they were not coming off a clinch necessarily when they took that point. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what though?
You guys can go back and watch it yourselves.
That
He's trying to buy time. That's all that was.
Yeah, it was buying time, man. Come on, because Deontay Wilder did that before or after, I believe, and even there was a little.
The point was for a hit after the. It was for the punch, not for the clinch.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He hit him. So which is ridiculous because usually, no matter what you're taking a point, you usually give him a fucking hard warning first. He only warned him about clinching. He didn't say no fucking monkey business after the pull away. So he was looking for reasons. He was, man. It was so obvious.
Hey, Jimmy,
you know when I knew Wilder was in trouble, Jimmy? You know when I knew Wilder was in trouble? When he took a point away from Fury, Fury was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm still gonna
exactly.
I'm still gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing all over and all over until that motherfucker quits. That's it.
That's a good point, man. That's exactly what because usually when guys get a point taken away, they're like, shit, they're shaking their head, whatever. Now this guy's like, all right, yeah, get over with, man. I want to get back to the fight here. But it's interesting, guys, because going back to the whole this Wilder now is saying conspiracy theory, and people are saying in the comment section of that boxing scene video, they're saying take his phone away. He's making a fool of himself. He reminds me of Antonio Tarver after he lost to Bernard Hopkins, where he said that, I was drugged. He was saying he was drugged by some ninjas or Russians. I forget who he blamed, but he said he was drugged. That's what happens when losing is a shock to you, which, to a certain extent, it speaks volumes about Wilder's confidence. I do believe he was confident. I don't buy this theory that some people say that he believed he was trash. No, the guy really was confident, but he was overconfident in his punching power. He thought it was never going to end. All he had to do was touch Fury, and he was going bye-bye. And this loss is a shock to his demeanor. So it could go both ways. It could either break him or it could make him stronger. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think about all these excuses now? Did you expect something like this from a young fighter like him?
Well, I'm really shocked that he's that ignorant to think it was a conspiracy on its face. Think about it. If Darrell was friends with Sugar Hill, why would you spring it, right? Am I wrong? Isn't it so obvious? Why would he need to say, let's invoke a fucking scam? That guy was beating their fighter's ass in it, especially at that point. Mm-hmm. So that's just ridiculous. So if Wilder's even entertaining that, he's looking for a reason to get rid of Breland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a that I didn't think about it that way. You're right. He might have just been looking for it. Maybe he doesn't like the guy's training methods already, and he says, you know what? Now this is a great opportunity to get rid of his ass. I don't know though.
He was in that seat hurt. He was in that seat hurt. Maybe he was looking. Maybe he was looking up at him like, all right, dude, what do I do? Maybe he didn't like the way. Maybe he didn't hear anything coming back from anybody.
I think he knows that he did the right thing, Mark Breland. But perception is reality. If he's gonna come back, he's gonna sell the fact that I wanted to go out of my shield, and I don't want people to perceive that I wanted the towel thrown in when it actually did save me. But it's just like the reality is he wants to kind of save a little face, and it means sacrificing Mark Breland. Well, so be it.
They got to sacrifice somebody. That's for sure, Gonzalo. That's the way it is. Remember when De La Hoya would switch trainers every time he lost or every time he had a bad performance? He was. I think the best De La Hoya, by the way, just a little aside here. The best De La Hoya was the one that was trained by the same guy who trained Miguel Canto. I forget the guy's name. El Maestro Ramirez or something it was. He was having De La Hoya moving his upper body, using his jab more. But then I think the lawyer
Maestrito Lopez.
Maestrito Lopez, yes, thank you, Maestrito. He was a good guy, man, but he didn't even want to train anybody before that. He was sick of boxing, and with this Brilliant thing, you can see why. Brilliant was trying to protect Wilder, and now they're throwing him under the bus, saying he's a turncoat. I mean, this is a little bit disgusting, but hey, it's nothing new in boxing.
What's going on your Shield? Because to me, he went out with. I mean, I gave some respect to Wilder because he was getting beat up and he was still, he didn't want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
But what else do you want? Like, what was the going out with your Shield all about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think going out on the Shield, he meant going out on his back, probably. Getting knocked out.
Yes, he's trying to. He's putting out. It's just bravado. That's all it is, dude. It's fucking machizo. He's like, yeah, man, fuck that. Yeah. I don't go down. Don't stop a fight with me on my feet. That's not how I fuck. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. I mean, listen. That guy, just because he's not known as somebody who can punch, you guys been saying, everybody's been saying, 6'9", 275-pound man who throws punches for a living, tees off on you, and you're fucking just kind of up against the ropes, nowhere to go. Dude, that could make you fucking, finger painting for the rest of your life.
Come on.
Seriously.
It could have been worse for him, BDA, as that fight gone along. That could have been, he could have. Sorry about that. You were saying?
No, that was the alert. That was a sub alert. Go ahead. Well, actually, okay. Well, actually, now that you're taking a pause, let me just read the comment real quick, and I'll let you go. G Boogie says that this donation was for the torment that I've received from Revolucion's song. I felt I was in the movie Hostel. Oh, come on. He says, just kidding, bro. Keep doing your thing. My ears are bleeding like Deontay Wilder's. Oh, come on. All right, shout out to G Boogie, man. Shout out to G Boogie for the contribution.
His ears.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Recognize. What were you saying?
That fight could have gotten worse for him. Look, it wasn't going to get any better. That fight wasn't going to get any better. He wasn't going to. Okay, right before the knockout or the stoppage, excuse me, the towel being thrown in. Right before that, Wilder, like a wounded warrior, man, just like, and I call him a warrior with all respect because kid didn't want to quit. I truly believe that. He just threw that 1-2 so sloppy, like, fuck, if it lands, I hope something could happen. And it's like Fury's looking at him like, dude, what are you doing? You're finished, man. It's time. Mm-hmm. It's time to throw in the towel. That's how Fury treated that. He's like, boom, 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 and everybody that I was watching the fight with, that some of these guys are casual boxing fans. They're MMA fans. A couple of them are boxers that actually spar every day. And still do and know a lot about boxing. They're like, yo, he's finished. They need to stop this fight. That's it. The fight needs to be stopped. And boom, it's calling to stop the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Right when they were saying it before that, but the conversation became to a point where, like, I just hope Fury knocks him out, makes it quick, or his corner needs to. There was only one guy there that was like, "Yo, I hope let that fight go until he dies." Like that was his. That was the way he saw it, and it was a black guy. He just didn't like him. He just, it's not always about race. He just didn't like Wilder, right? And he just wanted the fight to end. I guess he just wanted blood, And so, right when we were saying that, the towel comes in, the fight's over. We all saw it. I told you about the betting odds. I don't know if Jimmy was on. Jimmy, when I was watching, I was following FanDuel on Wilder and Fury going into the ring entrance. Wilder was a -110. By the second round ended, he was a +750 underdog. They knew it was over. You know what I'm saying? They knew after the second round that the fight was over.
Yeah, they looked at Walter's face and his eyes wide open.
Yep. They saw what was going on here. That Fury was gonna put something in those punches, and even in the first and the second round, man, you could see before he knocked him down, you could see and those were punches, Bucho. Those were not like holding them. It's too early to be tired for somebody holding you. Those were pure punches that were draining was zapping his energy.
You know what fight? There was you're absolutely correct. It was crystal clear, man, that he was not going to get a second win. I mean, that was it for him. I remember the last fight I remember that went that way was when Nate Campbell fought Kid Diamond back in 2005 on the Tarver Jones undercard, on the rubber match undercard. And Kid Diamond got dropped in the second round, I believe. And then he was just eating bomb after bomb, but he wasn't getting dropped. He was just getting rocked a little bit. And he was taking the shots. And then when he would punch back, he was just like, the snap was out of his shots. And I'm thinking that's the type of fight where a guy can die. Now, in this one, okay, maybe Wilder wasn't getting hit with that type of volume, but let's not forget, he was getting hit with bombs from a 270-pound guy. That shakes up your brain. He had his chin up in the air, backing up, leaning straight back up. He was out. He had no second wind. His legs were gone. That was a dangerous, dangerous fight. Even Jermell Charlo, I forget which Charlo it was, but you could see him in the back there. He was waving his arms in the 6th round saying, stop the fight. And I heard some people on the internet saying, oh, what a pussy, stop the fight. No, well, listen, he knows, when you see a fighter like that, it's time to call it quits, man, or get somebody to stop the fight.
When you excellent point, dude. Exactly. When you come out of the corner and you don't even put on any kind of offense and you instantly slump into a fucking position like that, he was just trying to survive. There was no chance he was going to even, you know what I mean? There was no second wind to be had. And everybody could see it, including fucking Bayless, who didn't want to fucking stop the fight, but he absolutely did. The corner thrown in the towel was a second thought. But, yeah, listen, he took some fuck. He had to come out. That's why I said the 4th round, because it was either going to be early, and he did really pretty much, listen, he finished that fight in the 3rd round. Everybody pretty much can agree on that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everything, and it was just, he just had to put him down the rest of the way. But anyways, yeah, no, that's why he had to go out when he was fresh. Smart idea. Everything he did was right. You don't sit there and try to feel each other out. I never understood that. You're trying to put somebody away, man. You put him away when you still got your fucking, you know what I mean? You bang. Mm-hmm. And he did. He knew. He went out and he landed the heavy shots when they would do the most damage in the first 3 rounds.
That's true, man.
That's why he most likely is not the hardest hitter of all time, the hardest puncher. Because, look, after the 3rd round, and more so like after the 5th, you didn't expect that he would have his legs under him to land a hard shot. It just wasn't there. No matter what they say about him. That's why it was a correct stoppage. How many other fighters in the past that got in trouble can come back and throw a shot and just take you out of there? Many can. But Deontay Wilder, when somebody pressed him, he couldn't do that. He has never really faced punchers. And a lot of the punchers in all-time history, they've had faced punchers and come back from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, Ortiz was a puncher, but he was just way too slow for 46-year-old, 47. He's over 40. Like Jimmy and Recognize keep saying, the guy's over 40. Now, I want to bring up to your attention something here. Lance Pugmire, senior boxer for The Athletic, has just The Athletic. Sorry, not The Athletic. He says that he talked to Wilder, and he little by little he's been posting some of the comments here that Deontay Wilder said. They say Deontay says he's definitely exercising his rematch clause for a summer trilogy against Tyson Fury, and he says that his legs were weakened by his 45-pound costume. All right, well, I mean, that's whose fault is that? Pugmire also said that the Bronze Bomber said that he's reevaluating retaining assistant trainer Mike Brilliant. Okay, we already knew that. Now he's also saying Wilder Wilder also has harsh words for referee Kenny Bayless, alleging Bayless declined to effectively confront Fury over a slew of punches to the back of his head and neck after telling Wilder he would disqualify him if he did the same in the pre-fight dressing room. So now he's even blaming the guy. I mean, he's blaming he sounds like Hillary Clinton, man, after she lost to Donald Trump.
He's blaming everybody except himself. He's blaming everybody except himself and Tyson Fury.
He just rattled off everything we said. I've heard, like we've all said individually, we've heard each one of those talking points. Mm-hmm. One of us mentioned one of those, and he just rattled them off all day. And so he's been online reading it, and I knew it was struck silence at first. He's like, oh man, the better man won, because he knew. So what did he do? Like a fucking stupid dude would do. He goes out and he checks the temperature of Twitter. oh wow, okay, what is everybody saying? What am I fucking? Listen, you think he's looking at BDA? Come on, you know he's not. You know he's going right to fucking blood boxing, and and God, go listen to that shit. And he's hearing all that. He's hearing it all. That's right, motherfucker. Hit me in the back of the head. No, dude. He fucked you up. Your eye was, you were bleeding from in your ear. Your face was swollen. He fucking beat you stupid. You didn't have the legs. Listen, you could be hurt and still have life in you. Say if you got fucking TKO'd real quick, you know what I mean, or a fucking flash knockdown. People say a wounded fight is the most dangerous. It's because he's still fresh. He might be a little goofy in the head, but it's body energy. And when you boxing up, it's just second nature. So you could be on Queer Street and still be able to throw a shot. So that's when when that comes into play. You know, a hurt fighter is the most dangerous fighter. But he wasn't that kind of a hurt fighter. He was a hurt fighter. He didn't have no bounce in his legs. So when you don't have any bounce and you're hurt, you're done.
There's a difference between a hurt fighter and a fighter that's dangerously getting hurt. A hurt fighter is dangerous. A hurt fighter that's on the cusp of being damaged, he becomes basically non-resistant. There's nothing to worry about there. Wilder was on the verge of that.
Very well said, man.
Yeah.
He okay, Gonzalo.
Okay, Fury was just gaining more confidence, and he was just starting to hone in on his timing and zeroing down his shots. And he was taking Wilder's confidence while he was getting more confident.
Well, listen, everything that
after 6 rounds, BDA, I had the fight 6-0, Fury up by 8. This is the first half. So now he's got an 8-point deficit. You don't think Fury knows the game plan? Let's say if he still had enough in him. You think that Fury didn't know the game plan was to land the home run punch? Because more than likely, you're not going to catch up on the scorecards.
No, exactly. Look, listen, Fury's no dummy, man. He knows exactly what was up, and he planned this.
It was just going to get worse for him, man.
Exactly. He planned this to a T, and he knew. It's like when he got that points taken away, and he just kept going, like you said. That was a very good point. I mean, he didn't care. He knew what was up. Now, before we continue, just don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, hit that like button, subscribe to BDA Live or secondary channel where we do all film analysis. And like I was telling Gonzalo on the Discord, I want to do a couple more film analysis, guys. I got some clips ready for us to watch. Top Rank, they're very controlling of what people can use of their footage.
Online. I want to be in on that one, BDA.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
I want in.
Well, we're not gonna watch any Crawford or Teofimo fights because we can't do it. But I do have some sparring footage of both guys that we can look at, and that's gonna be very interesting. Also, Casimero versus Inoue. We got to do a preview on that. So check out BDA
I thought you were
Live.
talking about a breakdown of the second fight, Wilder Fury.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. No, we're gonna do that one at some point when it becomes less dangerous to put that up there. Also, I wanted to say, this whole thing here. I was listening to Steve Kim, and he was saying on the 3 knockdown rule with Mario Lopez, and Mario Lopez, because we're talking about who should Fury fight next or who should Wilder fight next, and I think it was Mario Lopez brought up Andy Ruiz, and Steve Kim goes, just completely dismisses Luis. He goes, I don't want to hear about that guy anymore. Let's move on to and I said, man, Luis gets no respect. But listen, he did it to himself, man. He had right now.
Hey,
he could have been.
Ruiz might do the Wilder what? Fucking what's the guy that knocked out Roy Jones after Tarver? What was his name? Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with Ruiz. Ruiz might end up doing that to him.
Very good point, man.
He's a pressure fighter that throws a lot of punches. Good chin.
And that's the thing, though, because Joshua caught him big with some shots in the second fight, but he never really did catch him with that bomb of a left hook from the first fight. Do you guys think that Ruiz, if he goes in there against Wilder, he's going to turn into like a bobbing and weaving type, Joe Frazier type guy, or is he just going to try to block the shots or take a little step back and try to counter the way he was doing to Joshua in the first fight?
Well, it's the thing. He can bob and weave, but at 285, he wasn't doing a lot of whole bobbing and weaving. He can, because I seen him in some training footage.
Let's say he comes in, Gonzalo, yeah. Let's say he comes in 265, right? 265. And he decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punch with Wilder. Who do you think wins those exchanges?
If he doesn't get clipped first, that'd be Ruiz, because he'd get off his offense.
What about if he decides cutting off the ring and coming on the inside? We've seen him do it. We've seen him counterpunch coming in. I've seen him do it.
Yeah, if he pressure him, because that's what worked for Tyson Fury, that he pressed the action. Like you were saying and you mentioned, and you called me out. It's true. He pressed the action, a big guy. But Fury, correction, Ruiz will still be a big guy, but just a short guy. So he'd have to get on the inside.
Right. If Fury was smart enough, listen, another thing too with Wilder, that wide stance. He knows there's so many things he has to do to get into his punching stance. So every time before he let him get that final step back with his right before you would pivot to throw his right, put all his weight back on his right foot and then go forward, he would close distance. If he had to grab him, he grabbed him. If he had to throw him with a jab, he would just put him off his game. And he would have to try to get back in a position. And he did everything right, I'm telling you. He fucking put a lesson on that dude. I can't see how it'd get much better for him.
You see, the thing, he might get better if he loses. Let's say from 231, he goes down to like 225 or 220.
You know what this fight
reminded me of? Still facing a guy that's going to be 270. He might get more whip and extension on his shots. He's more lucid with his. He's more loose with his right hand, but he's still facing the guy that's 270.
And you know what this fight reminded me of? Thing that dude beat him up. That's rough on a man's psyche.
This fight reminded me of B-Hops, but not B-Hops versus Trinidad. He got on his mind, and once they got in the ring, he basically took it from there. He got in Wilder's head before the fight.
How do you think he got into? Like, what do you think happened? Could you explain a little bit on that? Expand on that issue.
Well, he just basically told him, like, dude, like, you're nobody. Beat you. I got up for your punches. I beat you. The world knows I beat you. That was bothering him, and telling him, I'm going to knock you out.
Sugar Hill. Kronk Jim and Sugar Hill. Wilder knew what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Then you take that into consideration. He's like, okay, I know what they're about. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to face punchers, because it's a difference when you're fighting a puncher, man. A puncher will zap your power, man. That's what they do. They zap your power. Wilder was never a great boxer. He wasn't in great shape as a boxer. He's basically an athlete.
10 defenses, and he only faced like 1 or 2 mandatories, and the guy that he already beat. 10 defenses. And look, one of the funny comments most ridiculous things I heard, people are saying, oh, well, Joshua didn't beat Wilder, Fury did. But you see, the pressure is on Wilder because Joshua took an immediate rematch, and he went through that, and he won. Now, he got 28 days to see if he's going to take it himself. And I don't think he'll win. I don't think nobody thinks he'll win, even his fans. So the pressure's on him.
Well, you know what? It's interesting now because we've seen everything that's happened now. And Butcher's one of the guys that always said, look, Wilder, his resume is trash. And people would say, no, it's not. I mean, not people here, but people on the outside. And now in hindsight, here's the thing. They were banking on that one-punch knockout against Fury. After the third round, it was clear that it wasn't going to happen. So now we start going through his resume, and we see, okay, was it really that great? Because people are saying, oh, but still, 10 title defenses. Who can pull that off? Let's look at those defenses, man. You had the best guy he fought at that point was Stiverne, who had 2 good wins over Arreola. And that's where Wilder really used his advantage in height and all that. And he boxed smart, and he kept Stiverne at bay, hurt him twice in the fight. Good, okay. Then he fights Stiverne again about 2 years later. Completely unnecessary. Like Stu says, Stiverne he knew he was going to lose, so he didn't even bother training. He showed up in there like Barry White. Ortiz, old man Ortiz, gives him a hell. Oh, it could have been, it was down to the wire. It was either Ortiz was about to take him out or Wilder was about to take him out. Okay. He rematches Ortiz again after Ortiz looks awful against the Christian Hammer. Or was it Robert Helenius? I forget. Then, okay, that unnecessary. Brazil. Dominic, no technique, no chin, big old titties, Brazil. Okay. Gerald Washington, no technique, Mr. Football and NFL Washington, was giving him hell with just feints. he got him out there with one punch. Okay, that without one punch, one hitter quitter. What's his name? The other Polish guy, Bucho, help me out here. Szpilka, giving him hell again, gets bailed out with the punching power. I mean, come on. Do you really now realize that he was never really gonna make it that far against some of these elite guys? Joshua, Fury. Okay, look, credit to Wilder. He made it.
Playing Russian roulette.
Exactly.
That's what he was playing, man.
You live by the gun, you die by the gun.
There's a reason he ducked guys like Alexander Povetkin, and that was a duck. And Dillian White. They were afraid of this. They were afraid that one of those guys, because they're pressure fighters too, like especially when it comes to Alexander Povetkin. He's one of those guys that slips your jab, comes in, and starts, dropping his combination punches, and he throws real short, like compact punches. They were afraid of that, bro. I'm telling you. There was no intentions of fighting Alexander Povetkin before the alleged failed test. Before that, okay, this was a way to get out of that. That's all it was.
Povetkin was piecing Joshua up, man. He was piecing Joshua. He was hitting him flush with. He was confusing him with feints. Then he started wear down. I don't see Wilder having been able to do what Joshua did, which was starting to jab.
If Wilder would have beaten Povetkin, they would have been claiming like, "Look, he's so good. Look what he did to Povetkin." Right? AJ does it, and nobody gives a shit.
That's very good point. Very good point.
And I'll tell you right now, when I think about Wilder too, his confidence, and I know Fury saw it too. If you go back again and watch the fight, look the way he carries himself in the first round, his eye contact, where he walks to his corner, the confidence. Just to watch the way Wilder carries himself in every capacity, and watch after that first right hand that got his attention in the second round. Everything changed. The look in his eyes changed. That was before he even caught the ear shot. Before he even got dropped, everything changed. And fucking Fury saw it too. That's why, like you said, you keep bringing up that you didn't even care. Yeah, okay, take the point, whatever. Get out of my way. I got a mission to do here. Yeah, he saw it too. He took the will out of him with that one shot.
I really think he did, man. I do. Because it's one thing getting hurt by Eric Molina and still having snap on your shots. It's another one where this guy keeps coming forward and it's just catching you, backing up, and it's an energy thing. It's a body language thing. If you're always leaning back in no position to counter, and this guy keeps coming forward, it does something to your mind. And then on top of that, getting hit, yeah.
In BDA, when somebody attacks you in that particular form, that feint and a jab with a real quick right over top, they leave themselves open. If you have even the slightest bit of ability to sidestep and coming across through, because you just left almost with your fucking chin on a platter, because you have to make sure. This reason why you don't usually see it done so often, because it's, if somebody can step aside, boom, you know what I mean? Just fucking move a little bit, and he just went backwards. It was nuts. Oh, anyways, it was terrible.
Hey, Jimmy, your friend Clarissa Shields was tweeting during the fight, and she was saying, "Come on, Wilder, pull it out." And then there was a tweet, I believe it was during the 6th round or something. She goes, "Oh, we really need something to pull this out, baby. Come on." But she knew it was done. Hopefully, she learns a lesson from this, not to be too much of a big mouth talker, and to try to be a little bit more humble and try to conduct yourself with a little more decorum. And
what did I say to you the last podcast I was on, brother? And again, if I'm cutting you off, dude, it's because I'm struggling to hear you, so I'm trying to jump in. I apologize, but
that's okay, man.
I remember when I brought up how he tweeted that pillow hands tweet with himself laughing. I say, "Whoa, just don't do that." You can say, "Fuck you, you push someone fucking like you call him fucking dude that size who can fucking box pillow hands. A guy who's got 21 knockouts and 30 fights. Like, dude, you all right?" And so, like, why would you want to even? That goes to show you he was so just pillow hands. He was beating that horse to death. So that just gave Fury even more motivation to knock him out. I mean, he really wanted to fucking decapitate him, and he realized the fight was gonna be a long night. So, yeah, that was nobody needs to see a third fight, and there's no way physically he's gonna be ready, because you know what, Fury again. Having the belts, is going to say, okay, we're going to have it, and I'm sure in the contract it says, they have 28 days to make it, and then they have, 30 days probably to find and set the date. but it has to be within a certain time. Is anybody confident that he's going to bounce back from that kind of fucking facial damage?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
I mean, and fucking back of the head shit. Fuck him, man. He's really. I got to go look at his Twitter feed because if he's saying shit like that, that's pretty fucked up. What did you say you found that?
Well, check it on Lance Pugmire's website, The
Athletic.
Oh,
okay, Lance Pugmire. Okay, brother. Oh, yeah. Fuck that, dude. You got to pay to see his shit.
Oh, you
do?
Big Mama was pretty offensive too, Jimmy. When you called him Big Mama.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, was that offensive though?
Yeah.
He does look like a big mama. No, Hoochie Mama.
If he called him a punk once, I think he even fucking let bitch slip once. I don't know in the gypsy community, but here in Boston, dude, another man calls you a bitch. Dude, I give a fucking one foot in the grave, dude. Yeah, dude, you're gonna bite holes in his face.
Fuck,
you can't go down the whole racist route either, because look, he fired,
you just can't. There's certain words you just.
He fired Ben Davidson to hire a black man, and then you had the guy that threw in the towel. It was the black man, not the white guy. If the white guy would have thrown the towel, man, it would have been more egregious to them. They would have flipped it, and then you had a black referee who stepped
That's a good point.
So it's not the Jack Reese no more. So yeah, they're never happy.
Hey, listen, guys, I want to tell you, Jimmy and Gonzalo. Jimmy, we're doing the Second Renaissance every Thursday. And sometimes Saturday, if there's no big fights, I'm doing like an overnight episode. And we just talk about a whole lot of shit. I bring articles, and you can bring articles too, and just whatever piques your interest. And so if you could join us, because Gonzalo was telling us some stories, man. He was rolling out. He served in the same well, actually, no, he wasn't in the same unit, but in the same...
same unit. Same unit.
Same unit.
I was in the same company, not the same platoon, but I was in the same company as Timothy McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh.
That's who?
Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
No
Can
shit.
you imagine that?
Well, he was in
there he was there like 3 or 4 years prior to I was.
Ah,
so
okay.
The platoon sergeant from the platoon sergeant. There's 4 platoon sergeants in every company. So I was in his company, but in a different platoon. So one of the sergeants that used to be above him, that he used to be in, he told us, yeah. And I found evidence that he was around the town. I got stories, yeah.
Well, the company's what, like between. For the Army's 130? 100, was it 115, 130 guys for a company?
It's about 200 because you have 5 platoons. You got headquarters.
Oh, 5 platoons.
Yeah. So I was in his company, but he was there like 3 or 4 years prior. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Second Renaissance, people.
Second Renaissance. Go on over, subscribe. It's an unboxing channel. I'm starting to hang out a little bit more over there, especially in the last couple of months because there was nothing going on with boxing. Very little. So it's hard to get up for those types of things, but yeah, Second Renaissance, man, and it's people come in, bring your. I know Jimmy's got a whole bunch of stories that he's never told on the air. I don't know if he's going to be willing to tell some of them, but yeah, Jimmy, recognize.
As long as the fucking what's that you get certain amount of time.
The statute of limitations.
They can't. Yeah. I'm only dealing shit like that.
Well, listen, go check that out. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic
channel. I was
going
to say, BDA, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So Mikey Garcia is going to face Jesse Vargas. Now, do I get to pick the Mexican guy, or am I going to be in some hot water for that?
You're gonna have to pick the guy the more Mexican. That's what you're gonna have to pick to be consistent. No, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that fight next time. But it's just I knew people want to talk about more about the Fury Wilder fight. I know it's still hot in people's minds, so I wanted to. But yeah, next episode of the BDA Boxing Podcast, it's gonna be Jesse Vargas versus Mikey Garcia. I still maintain Mikey Garcia. Give him all the shit you want for his performance against Errol Spence. I still think he's a world-class boxer. I'll say it again. And if he beats Jesse Vargas, who has given a lot of guys hell, like Timothy Bradley, he stunned, what's his name? Pacquiao with the right hand, almost got Timothy Bradley out of there. He got Saddam Ali out of there. So this ain't no cakewalk for Mikey Garcia, who should still be fighting at least 140 pounds. I still think he can make 135. And the return of Chocolatito on the undercard. Fucking Roman Gonzalez coming back.
Sad. That bums me out.
Yeah,
that's right.
What bums you?
Well, he's only lost 1 time at Jimmy, or 2 times. He's lost twice.
Yeah, dude, he's so great. His legacy, so in my eyes, he's one of the best of his generation, hands down. He still have his facilities about him. He's got young family, young kids. Dude, stop.
Oh, you think he should stop?
Yes. Yes, retire.
He's 32 years old, man. I mean,
yeah, but he's been in some sick wars, dude. He's been in some. You've seen it. I'm not telling you anything. I'm not saying anything you don't know. He's taken a lot of beatings. And if what's his name? I'm saying what's his name because I'm stoned and I'm forgetting my favorite fighter's name. But his mentor too, right? You know what I mean, dude? His mentor too. If he was alive, he wouldn't be fighting right now. No way. Absolutely no way. He'd be tied by now.
Listen,
those smaller weight classes take a lot of shots, dude.
That's a good point. 32 years old at that weight division, like with the worst he's been in too. Yeah, it's true. It's an old 32, but he's the type of all-time great. I think he still has one or two big wins inside of him to really cement his legacy. Hey, listen, it's a risk. This is the life they choose. I mean, these guys.
No, exactly, dude. No, I hear you, but it's like with the small kids. I personally, in my opinion, I mean, he's a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. He's given us so many great wars. Mm-hmm. I've seen enough erosion in his game that he just he's a couple in a little bit of change in his voice, in the eyes when he's talking interviews. I'm just telling you, I saw it. God rest, you know what I mean? Mickey, I love him like a brother. That night, people standing there, I'd tell you right in his face. I saw it. I saw it as the years went on. You could see it. You couldn't tell him.
Oh yeah,
he was making chump change.
I read an article on Ring TV 2 weeks ago that said Mickey Ward's waking up with headaches now, or maybe not
bad
now,
ones.
but like
bad one. Yeah, no, he's got the CTE, dude. But he knew it, dude. He was saying that back in that night. He fucking on that Lost Lives of Old High Crack Street when he fucking banged out that kid and they had to stop the movie. But I remember that night he was talking about it, you know, because his daughter was just born, and he was like, "I'm not going to live long. I'm not going to see old age, but my kid's going to live good." As long as I get that out of it. That was his man. You know, and I'm sure he wouldn't even change his fucking attitude. His daughter's set for life. No, she'll never worry for money.
That's hardcore.
I feel that those guys, like, he was like the minimum weight, right? He's like a 3-time world champion. That he was like so small that those guys don't get recognition. That he's still fighting. Maybe I don't know if he's fighting 18 or 16 this time, but like he's not even a big 116 pounder. That, you know, just to make a name for himself, he's fighting out of his division. I think he's smaller than that. That's the problem with him.
Plus, everybody wants to wreck the fucking legend. Everybody goes in there and gives it a little extra. I want to knock his head off. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know. I've seen that he's entertained me over the years, and I just know fucking how his mentor would think about it. He would not. What was it? The second round of Estrada? Was it Estrada fucking wiped the floor with him? I mean, it was just a one-sided beating. His the rematch there, was it the rubber match or rematch, whatever, under the Triple G card in New York.
You mean?
I don't think they fought the second time, did they? Estrada and Chocolatito.
Well, I don't know, dude. I don't remember the fucking.
It was a Rungvisai match.
I think you're talking about Rungvisai, who knocked him out cold with.
Rungvisai. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Rungvisai.
He fucking woofed that boy's ass.
Yeah,
he took a. Yeah, put it this way, he wasn't even denying that his wife doesn't want to fight anymore. So when you start getting your family telling you they don't want you to fight, but it's hard. Like you said, he's 32 years old. That's a hard pill for a kid to swallow. And I'm sorry, 32 is a kid. Yeah. So you're thinking, what? That's it? So that's it. So what now? I fish? And then you look at the pictures of fucking a dude who beat up Rona, all fat, drinking, was smoking a cigar. Like, that's it, man. That's it. Showing up and signing autographs here and there. It's hard for guys like that, especially alpha males.
You know what? It's also interesting because we're going to talk about that next episode. But also on Wednesdays, we're trying to get the boxing people in here, fighters, trainers, whatever. Last 2 weeks ago, I believe, or 3 weeks ago, Gonzalo got us Jose Benavides Sr., the trainer of David Benavides and Jose Benavides Jr. And this guy used to be a gangbanger back in the day, and now he's settled down. He's got a good-looking wife. He's 2 sons, world class, and he was a pretty
Benavides.
Jose Benavides Sr. Yeah, he's the trainer of David Benavides and Jose Benavides Jr. And he was a pretty down-to-earth guy, man. So that's the type of thing we're trying to get. We're also trying to get. We're working with Diego Bandido, who's our Discord friend, and he's trying to get. He spoke with Memo Heredia, the trainer, strength and conditioning coach of Juan Manuel Marquez. And Jimmy, you're probably well familiar with the name Memo Heredia. So it would be fantastic if we give you a heads up if you want to be on the panel that day, if he comes on.
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, no, he's a fucking legend.
Absolutely. Hey, maybe
Yeah,
after that
Mickey would do. I would ask Mickey to come on too, dude. And I've even talked to dude. Know what it is too? He's brutally shy. If you notice, he doesn't do a lot of interviews. He'll do it like there's a camera in his face. But over the years, because again, the CTI, and sometimes he'll get stuck on a word for a second now, and it bothers him. He hears himself do it, and it bothers him. Again, it all comes back to when we were kids watching Ding Ding, and that's the one thing. He's like, dude, I'll put a bullet in my head. Before. And he's got too many dudes who said, we'll kill you. Yeah, because there was a dude who walked the streets, Ding Ding, and he was a fucking, homeless dude, just, drinking or whatever, and kids would tease him, and Ding Ding, and he would just start swinging, and the idiot kids would say, oh, look at the fucking no, he thinks he's a ring. And when, of course, Mickey would beat that dog shit out of kids if we caught him. But it would tell him, no, you fucking idiots. He just doesn't know where the sound's coming from. He knows you're making fun of him. You imbecile. That's why he's swinging and anybody near him. It was terrible. Yeah, went on for years. Ding Ding.
Well, remember when we had Clarence Bones Adams here, and he said that I didn't even know he had problems, but he said that he was very self-conscious when he tripped on his words or something because he thinks, I don't know if he was confirmed or not, but he believed that he might have been suffering from CTE, and that's when we got into the whole CBD oil thing and all that to try to but he wasn't even sure. But it can play mind tricks on you. So now imagine being Mickey Ward and knowing that you have it. You must be a little self-conscious about it.
Oh, yeah, dude. And he knew it that night, dude. When I turned, I fucking turned to my wife's ex-wife then. I was saying, like, oh, man, I'm feeling this for life. Looking at him in that hospital bed, dude. Watching his head swell in front of my eyes, dude. Because as that night goes on, it's like a car accident. You ever see a car accident victim? Their fucking head swells all up and shit. It was crazy. Yeah, man, it was gross. And you knew it then. I knew it then. I'm like, oh, you're going to be paying for this for life.
Fuck, man. Well, listen, that's the price these guys take to entertain us. So, think twice next time you want to call a guy a coward. And that's the last thing I want to say about that. When people say, well, Wilder was afraid of Joshua. No, Joshua was afraid of Wilder. These guys aren't afraid of anybody, man. And they'll fight. You saw that with Deontay Wilder. He wasn't going to be fucking laying down for anybody. It's the promoters. The promoters are want to keep everything in-house. They want to have the most advantages. But Wilder, Joshua, Fury, trust me, they're not afraid of anybody. And if they are, color me surprised. But that's all I want to say about that. Guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to cut it because we've been here for 3 hours. But again, I want to thank everybody, man. I want to thank Recognize, Gonzalo, Jimmy for dropping by as well. Who else was in the panel? If I forgot
Peace, gentlemen.
Yeah, peace, man. Take it easy, Recognize. Thanks a lot.
I just wanted to ask you, who did anybody get the actual round and prediction right?
Let's do a little.
He got 7th round knockout, fucking Fury. He picked
Little got the whole.
Yep. No shit, huh? Dude, listen, not too many shows even picked Wild. Picking Fury by knockout was a bold pick, I gotta say, man. And this is the only show people were doing that. So we gotta be, we're pretty good over here, motherfuckers. All right, guys, thank you.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
Have a great evening, man. Peace.
All right, take it easy, Jimmy. Again, thanks to Gonzalo, Jimmy, Recognize with his 86% European blood going after the callers today. He was having none of it today. But yeah, thank you guys for that. Thank you. Thanks to Gonzalo too, and Recognize and Jimmy for being on. My co-host as well, King Bucho. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that like button, subscribe to BDA Live. If you like non-boxing talk, we also do a non-boxing show over at Second Renaissance. The links in the description and all that good stuff. There were people who donated with the super chat. I believe I got to them. I don't think I forgot anybody, but G Boogie, Pete, and Michael Polacco, thank you for your contributions. Really appreciate it. That's going into the Vatican Vault so that we can fund a special episode in Jerusalem, the Holy Land. Also want to thank you guys out there. Cannot forget you, the most important persons or people out there, I should say. Hold on. Sorry about that. Loud music. Mystic Mac, Solar Knife, Tel J. Who else? Jedi Master, Mystic Mac, Grievous. Shout out to Grievous. The Fight Scout. Who else? No. Hold on a second. We got the Fight Scout, like I said. Phoenix Suns, AZ Car. Don't forget, guys, you can call in next time. Don't be afraid. And we also have a StreamYard link. where you can call in and let us have it, as it were. Want to give a shout out to Daniel Roa, Boardroom Bully, with the fucking screen caps, Official Scorecard Boxing, Johnny M, G Boogie, who also contributed, Tom Roberts. Who else? Daniel Roa, like I said. Shit, I gotta go way back here. Jedi Master Fights. Got Hawker Mustang. Shout out to Mustang SSB 28. S Smalls. Everybody who called in as well. Jonathan Morrison. Bushido Kai also here. And many more people to come, I'm sure. Paul, Ryan Blunt. Guys, thank you so much. I'm losing my mind over here for 3 hours. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one, folks. Take it easy.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead. Shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing.
Lorito!
Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.